all good to
So,
go.
as a bit of an introduction, okay, we are going to talk about the things kind of we talk about Farah, about the hiding, about playing with vision, etc.
Mm-hmm.
They get amplified here, right? Genji is a hero that is high skill ceiling, but it's high skill ceiling because of the amount of combos you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to at the end of this hour, I'm going to just show you an exercise, a drill that you can repeat, and it's pretty fun to play, to do it.
Okay.
And it's going to exponentially increase the amount of the skill you have in the hero.
Okay.
That being said, Genji is a hero that brute forcing. Like if you know how to do the combos,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to climb a lot of SR, that's for sure. But if you play this hero with the brain, it's a hero that is insanely good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to focus on especially where do you start the fights, where do you end the fights, and the type of damage you do.
Okay.
I watched this video halfway, and you deal a lot of damage by doing left clicks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a kind of a way of playing soldier of playing Genji like a soldier 76.
Mm-hmm.
For example, this right now, one of the advantages Genji has is the map control. You are versatile enough to just start right now. This is a mistake already, because right now you can start wherever you want in the map.
Mm-hmm.
You are independent enough to do it. Especially in this map, Gibraltar is a signature map for snipers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So usually, how do snipers work? Snipers work based on line of sights.
Yeah.
They go for this line of sight, and when they secure this, they move to the next one,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually they move to the next one, and so on.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You want to take snipers down on transitions. You want to take you cannot take snipers down from the beginning because they start in the spawn. That's not possible to kill them there.
But
Right?
it makes
So
sense to kind of meet them at that like intersection point.
Exactly. You want to shorten the distance. You don't want to shorten the distance. You want to let them be the ones shortening the distance without even knowing.
Mm-hmm.
There are two main ways to play this point. As again, you starting here or starting behind this. Starting tower is an option, but this is going to be like you're going to face the sniper, okay? Because what the snipers usually do, they start on the spawn and they go up there, right? Usually they do this or they do this. So based on that, you play one or you play two. Usually one is the preferred, all right? Because you have this mega here that is going to help you.
So just kind of
Right
starting
now,
like on the staircase inside of comms.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And you just wait.
Okay. Okay.
All right, because they don't know. First of all, they don't know that you are there. And second of all, it takes them 15 seconds to actually press tab and reveal the entire enemy comp, your comp. There's going to be 15 seconds or 20 seconds before they realize, hey, they have a Genji. Once they realize, hey, they have a Genji, they need to wonder, hey, where is the Genji playing? By that time, you just kill the sniper.
I see.
So the thing is, what you want to do is, if the sniper does this, and you watch it from here, you just wait till the sniper scopes in. For example, he is going to do this, going to scope in from here. You just crouch behind him, get close to him, triple shuriken into the head with the left click, with the right click, to burst him.
Yeah, just that right click dash, and it's enough to
You
kill.
dash melee, and that's a one shot.
Yeah.
You want to come from behind because that shortens the amount of reaction the sniper has. The amount of also the more burst you apply, the less reaction the healers have. Usually, healers are going to be playing like this because they are going to support the tanks that are diving, your tanks. So the sniper right here you're going to kill this. Killing this means that you snowball. There is a big important thing when it comes to Genji and choosing your fights. Usually what you want to do is choose a 1v1 because you're a hero that 1v1s, right?
Yeah, my kit is definitely like it's good against one target at a time, but it's really not suited for like multiple people.
Exactly. So if you catch this isolated guy, what you are doing is something really, really smart at a macro level, because you are engaging in 1v1, and you are letting your team engage in a 5v5, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens? This is a 1v1 that you win.
Mm-hmm. So now we have numbers up automatically, because then
Exactly.
I can rejoin the fight whenever.
Exactly. And not on top of you rejoining the fight, you are rejoining from behind, which means that you are rejoining directly into the backline.
Mm-hmm. So if our team was running like a dive defense, where would they want to be set up? Because if I'm in comms, waiting for the enemy team to essentially push forward, where would my team be?
Your team, if you want to run dive here, this is not a map that you will run dive. This is a map that you will run what is called a 4+2. Right, 4+2 means that you have, let's say, Winston, D.Va, Ana, Sen, or rather than Ana, you can say Mercy Sen.
Okay.
But then you have Widow, Genji.
I see.
And how does this is a 4+2, and this the way this works is by doing a double pincer. So, for example, you have your Widowmaker here. The Widowmaker is basically there to just say, hey, you need to dive us. Right? You need to dive. Otherwise, we are just trading tanks here, etc. When you play with snipers against the snipers, what you want to hold are corners, right? Because corners are what limits line of sights. So you want to fight that. You want to fight, let's say, just pretend that this aerial. This Winston is here, this Winston is here. They are playing as a Reinhardt. Right? And then you have a sniper here and a sniper here. So this sniper is covering this Winston, this sniper is covering the Winston.
Yeah.
Why is this powerful on defense? Means that you are doing the same thing, but the attackers need to create something.
They have to push into your line of sight in order to get in.
This is why playing with the snipers is good at defense. The snipers are really good at defending something. When the starting position into the fight is good for them, they usually pop off. So what do the attackers need to do something? Again, with the same layout, Widow, Winston. So let's say that the attackers dive your Widow, right? If the attackers dive your Widow, your D.Va is going to counter dive this, which means that the enemy Winston is dead, no jump on him. And then your Winston is going to put a bubble here, and is going to cut the enemy team. Your Winston never counters. And then you, coming from here, this is what the double pincer is. You ignore the dive. With your Winston, you go on the enemy Widow.
Oh, that's so big brained. I see. So that's very clever. So we counter dive by essentially forcing them to go in, and we cut that person off. You
can cut the Widow, but if they have Mercy Widow, you're cutting the Mercy too.
Yeah.
If they have Mercy Widow Sen, you're cutting 3 guys at the same time. You alone, you can kill these 3 guys. Provided that you are not doing this pincer, you are doing, for example, just pretend that corner is this, right? Your Winston is here, the Winston is here, but you are here hidden, right? They don't know. This is an incognito for them. This is a question mark, right? So Genji, Winston, Widow, and then they have Mercy's here, then the Widow goes here, plus Mercy, and the Sen is pushing, right? D.Va. So in this scenario, you are the one that is going to basically enable your whole team. If they don't do anything, you are basically stalling because you are mirroring, and let's say that. What do they have as a second DPS? A Hanzo? Right? Or let's say they play a Tracer, right?
Okay.
So Tracer is trying to go Glove, etc. So the Widow is basically covering both at the same time. Right? Let's say that they try to do something. Let's try to dive here.
Okay.
So the Widow moves forward, etc. The Tracer goes in, they try to dive. Your D.Va is by counter diving, is going to shut down Tracer, Winston, right? and then your Winston does this, and then you coming from here, you kill the Widow instantly. You get the reset that allows you to just rejoin the fight, and Winston is going to rejoin in 3 seconds.
Or after if they have the Widow and the Mercy there, and so we collapse and kill those two, would it be worth it for us, because I have my reset and Winston already has the high ground advantage, would it be good for us to then go on the Zen and kill him if he's pushing point, and then that gives the 3 seconds for his jump to come off a cooldown to rejoin?
Yeah, basically what you're doing is, this is why this is called 4+2. That's the reason, because you plus Winston, you are +2. You are independent, you work together. The Winston says, and you just go behind. The Winston says, you give the info, you are the scouter here. But you say, hey, Widow is here. You tell this to the Winston, so the Winston jumps. Then you rejoin, and you get the kill here. And then you, as a unit, you need to say, hey, what's the next one? I'll go for the Sun. The fight on the other side, what's the thing about the other side? The other side has cooldown advantage, meaning is that if they go for them, the Widow is going to grapple away. So the Widow is safe. So the Widow is the Mercy. So the Widow plus Mercy, they are safe.
Yeah.
If you're running Sen is behind already the Widow and the Mercy, so the Sen is already safe. And then your D.Va is just basically playing for them. So this is a fight that it's not about this fight losing. This is a fight that is tying. They are not losing, but they are also not winning.
Yeah,
they're just holding the
they're
ground.
just choosing to not take the fight. They made the enemies commit to them, and they just decided to not take the fight.
Kiting, keep kiting, because what's the important thing? The important thing is this.
Because
the payload is not moving.
Yeah, we essentially just force their team to spread themselves too thin. So by them not winning that fight in the back, they therefore lost overall, because Winston and I took out the other half of their team, and they weren't able to trade at all.
Exactly. Eventually, you're going to kill the healers. You still have the Discord. You still have the main healer. So by sustain, in this end of the fight, you out sustain them, and in this end of the fight, you outburst them. So by doing this, basically, of course, in this scenario, is super close to the enemy spawn. Right? But this is a scenario where you can actually take the first fight and take an advantage of over 40 plus 50 or 50, right? 50 ultimate advances.
Yeah.
The bread and butter of this comp is when you have map advantage, spawn advantage. Sorry, Gibraltar, which means that you are here. This is the best way of defending this point with this comp. Because you first of all, your respawn is super close. Second of all, you have this corner right here, and this is called blue.
Yeah, blue box.
So it's and what will be the display? The display will be you playing mainframe or a server room. You play as a defensive stand. Basically, the Widow is here. I'm actually going to use blue here. It might be better.
Yeah, it's a bit dark of an area.
Widow here. Widow, of course, with Sen. Then you have Winston, D.Va, and Mercy. Mercy should be playing with the tanks. This is like an advanced move, okay? Usually using Mercy's playing with the Widows because they want to damage boost them.
Yeah.
But if you play Mercy here with the tanks, you allow the tanks to trade farther, because you have sustain on the front line. The goal of this comp is to build a shell. Right? You have main tanks covering pit, mid, and blue box, and you have the flanker playing on the flank, covering the flank and playing passive. This means this Widow cannot get disrupted unless they overrun you somehow. This Widow and this Sen, you are protecting both the Widow and the Sen, and at the same time, they have long range to just protect all of you. This is what is called a well-rounded defense setup, basically.
I see. Yeah, because we're essentially we're kind of funneling them to fight where we want them to fight.
You are able to help each other in every way, and that's super important. Your goal is probably one of the most important things, and the most important thing is that you don't fall into this. Hey, I'm playing Genji. I'm going to just do shiny plays. You are doing the tactical role of covering a flank, which means that you are alone, and this means that you can't go aggressive.
Yeah, I have to play more defensively because I'm not going to have the help immediately. I'll have places to fall back to, but
Exactly.
where I currently start is I'm on my own.
You have mega control, and you're basically there as a ward, in like in League of Legends. Someone said that, hey, we have control on server room. That means that the entirety of the map is controlled. So if someone goes to disrupt the Widow, we know. We know where it's coming from.
Yeah. Professor, just to clarify, so when you were marking me being on that left side, would I be in like where the mainframe is, so kind of up this bottom ramp here?
Yeah.
Or
here,
like down in the
this...
pit?
No. Here here.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I know that the mega down there that's pointing to pit. I was.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, wait, what is he talking about? That I was like, I don't think so. Let me just double check.
No. It's the other mega. It's the other mega.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's what I was thinking of this whole time, but then I figured I was like, I should probably just ask just to be sure.
No problem. The thing is, since they need to break this somehow, right? And they only have two options: either push you or push your tanks, right? This is pretty straightforward. So if they push your tank, this is when you move forward. Because if they push your tanks with two tanks, this is why the Mercy is here. Winston plus D.Va against Winston plus D.Va plus Mercy, you lose, right? So they need to put more numbers into the blue box. They need to put numbers in order to push your tanks back. This means that if they regroup somehow, you can wrap around. And this is when things happen. If they keep pushing and they try to dive, this is where you come from mainframe. You take advantage of the uncovered flank and just go with your Winston on the Widow.
I see.
There is other thing that they can do. They can go mainframe themselves. So what you do is you switch. Right? If they go mainframe together and they push you out, you go out of mainframe and you go to perch or connector. You play around this area, safe. And you call your tanks to play mainframe.
I see. Okay.
So you basically gain control of this flank, and the tanks are meeting the other tanks on this rampart. And the Widow is still covering you here. The tanks here and you here.
Okay.
So basically, your job is you are just passive, always using cooldowns. If possible, not even using cooldowns. Not like I'm going to poke and deflect. No, just passive as much as you can. And then when the fight happens, when it explodes, right, or it starts, then you have your job. Then you have your Winston, then you have you, and you only have one job. You forget about this. Because even if you lose this, even if you lose here, but you win here, this is a trade.
Yeah.
And they need to, if the payload is, let's say here, they need to cover 100 meters in order to reach this. But you need to cover only 25.
And as a Genji, I can do that almost immediately.
Exactly. This means that a trade, what is going to happen, a trade is on your favor. This means that they heavily need to win the fight in order to just push, basically. And this is so snowballing. Now, do you understand why starting here? We didn't even start the vote. But you understand why starting here is so bad?
Yeah. No, it makes a lot more sense, especially after having gone through all that.
Because you just almost died there.
Yeah, so I stood out in the doorway to body block the D.Va so she couldn't leave, but then when I dropped low, I just went inside and played that corner for cover.
For example, you did well here. This is good movement. But you need to... Do you have the sit-in emote?
No, not on Genji.
Okay, you need to buy them, right? It's for a good reason, okay?
Yeah, no, it makes sense because when you do the sit emote, any type of emote, it puts you in third person, and the sit emote is one that stays where it is, and so you're able to essentially sit on a corner and use the third person view to peek.
Exactly. This allows you to just if the widow is going for you, you kill her. The game where I come from, the TF2 had the high five emote, and it was an emote that allowed you to just maintain yourself and enable this third person view. It was so abused in competitive that it got banned. So this is something that TF2 players in Overwatch they do a lot. This is so good of a position that you cannot give up. The moment you're playing against double sniper, and the moment you're playing Genji against double sniper, and you need to dash into them in order to shorten the distance, you're dead. Because you are committing resources and they have cooldowns still.
Whereas instead I should kind of just walk up to them and then use my dash to either follow them when they get out or use it to escape myself if I'm losing that fight.
Exactly. And especially in this side of the map, you're going to punish them using the hook mindlessly. Because they are just using the hook to act here because they need to get this, this line of sight. They need to keep shoot. Then is when you come from behind, and it's not that you use the dash to just follow them because they don't have any cooldown. And they're like, oh shit, and you just kill them.
Yeah.
And it's if you this just take the concept, besides the snipers, etc. Just take the concept. Instead of Gibraltar, try to think about Nepal, and instead of Widow, you think about Zen or Ana.
Okay.
Do you see where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
It's basically if you play like you are playing right now, the Genji. In front of them, you are getting headshot, body shot. You are playing at range against a sniper, and you are an assassin. It's just you don't have the tools to deal with a sniper. You have the tools to defend yourself. But the moment you are at this range, and you go like this, it's so hard. It's so hard. And you get a kill, but you are in a super bad spot.
Yeah.
When you should be using this skill to just get out, Even if you reset the dash, it's just so difficult. Because everybody, it happens to Tracer, it happens to Genji. If they are looking at you, you have a problem. The good shit is, as I said, the good shit is when they don't look at you.
Yeah, like that Hanzo.
Okay. Do you know how to perform the Ghost Dash?
The what?
Okay. Do you know what the Ghost Dash is?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. If you. Okay. I'm going to note this down. I'm going to explain you when I show you the drill.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because it's honestly it's fancy as fuck.
All right. I look forward to it.
Basically, you will see, but basically, if you dash into someone and you press the dash on kill, it allows you to do a ghost dash without the animation.
Oh.
So saves you, like if you're able to do that while a blade, on top of just internet points, you're just fast as fuck, Explain ghost dash. It's because the guy on the drill is going to do that all the time, and you are going to see why. Playing Ghost Dash. Okay. I mean, it's cool as fuck. I showed that to my girlfriend, and she was like, "What the fuck? We need to have sex right now." Just kidding, obviously.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited now. You've hyped it all up, so I've got to see it. I've got to see it.
Okay. At the end of the hour. All right.
Sounds good.
So this is basically you're playing a projectile, you're playing range when you just have two heroes that do what you are trying to do way better than you.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time that they force you. You are basically relying on them on missing, But for example, try to imagine that this entire brawl happens because this Widow shooting at you is going to happen, yes or yes, because it's going to be shooting at you or at your team, right?
And it's also not good for me to play hoping that their mistakes will allow me to win, because I'll eventually hit a point where they won't make those mistakes.
Exactly. If you face better players, and on top of that, this is also advanced, but also think about your healers. If you are with your tanks, you are taking cleave damage. which means that your healer needs to decide between healing you or the Winston. If on the other side only the Winston is taking damage, which means all their healing resources are going on the Winston, that helps them winning the front battle. Just for a second, pretend that you're coming from here. This guy. This is what is called a free kill. And then you have blade, which means that do you know how to open with a blade for a one shot?
You swipe and then dash, right?
Kinda. You dash 50, then you deploy the blade slash from 120 into dash reset 50. This is 220.
So you dash through them, then pull the blade, and then swipe and dash.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
In top of this, if you just and you are going to be able to do this with the drill. This is exactly what the drill is for, and this is why the ghost dash is so it's so insane. Okay, it's in fact, what the fuck? I'm going to show you. I can't just wait any longer. It's not the drill. It's just a montage. Okay.
Okay.
If the thing is, if you initiate with this one shot, but whenever you deploy the blade, you have built on your mind like, hey, the Widow is here, but the Hanzo is down there, and the squishes. You build in your head this mental map where you place everybody.
Yeah.
And you ghost dash into them. Well, I mean, no warranty. Nobody's going to stop you. First of all, no, and then you're just this Reddit Genji, you know. This is one of the sickest blade. This is from a Korean Genji called No Blue Screen. This is one of the sickest blade I've ever seen. Not because, I mean, it's complex to pull this off. But also it's super insane how he trucks. I mean, this blade is just what the fuck, you know. But then this is just insane in terms of how can he build the mental map like this. Not this one. The one in Hollywood. This one. You see, he is just going after everybody. Because once again.
Yeah, it's like a little it's like a connect the dots almost.
This guy is going to beat, by the way. This guy is going to beat into the Nanoblade. This is why he kills him first, and then he's going to go for the McCree, kill the Genji in the process. I don't know how. Then go for the Ana. Easy, 4 kill. This is not the ghost dash because you can't do the ghost dash. You can, but with Nanoblade you just one shot with the combo alone.
Yeah, the dash swipe or
yes.
Like swipe dash is enough to kill.
But if you engage, as I said in this previous fight, let me get the link again. All right. If you engage in that fight with the blade, you just won the fight by yourself because you're going to kill both the Widow and the Hanzo, and that's already over. By doing this, it's just oopsie, sorry. You are just taking too much damage. You are not impactful on the backline. You are not assassinating people. And look at this. You are so uncomfortable by receiving this target. You know. You're getting targeted by the snipers. You're getting discorded, so you can really don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then you are in a position where you really don't want to be.
Yeah.
Because you cannot play it. You are getting poked. You get, you know. And eventually, the only thing for the past 20 seconds, you are going back and back. And you're playing on 7 HP. Like the D.Va just kills you just randomly, you know. This is what happens with the snipers. Snipers are super oppressive. And once you have map control, you lose map control. This is why snipers are dangerous. Because you're for a late contest. You probably lose this because snipers are already set up. Right? Like this. Okay, nice. Oh. If you just this is why the mental map is so important. You're going to get for this kill. Instead of turning left, you turn right. That's 2 more kills. But since you don't build the mental map, you just since you slash, This is how the human brain works. Since you need to slash into this direction, the next target you see is D.Va. Then you go that way. Instead of setting the target priority when you're going to deploy the blade, which will be here. When you dash here,
and you can see
like-
them all. Yeah.
you can see this in your head should be like lights, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And how am I going to do this? Boom, 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 boom. Which means that I should always be looking that way.
I see. Yeah, no,
This-
I
this
had
is-
realized
this
there
is
was a mistake
complicated.
going
This is-
after the D.Va. Like, the second I had done it, I realized there was a mistake. Like, right here, I was like, oh, man.
I mean, and you got, at the end of the day, you got like the mech, etc. And but the thing is, the blade
I
was
missed so many right
decent.
clicks on the D.Va.
It's no problem. But the thing is, you kill with the blade, yes. But this is about fundamentals,
Yeah, yeah.
because you just got nano blade, and nano blade just forgives you some mistakes. But if you need to like pull out a clutch blade in order to win, that's really important.
Yeah, it's about being able to maximize the value with what we have.
Exactly.
So it makes sense. Definitely makes sense.
Oh, this is the entire thing that we spoke about. You're counter diving. You see the amount of space you gave to them. Yes, you kill the monkey, but the monkey is dead regardless. But now you're facing snipers without cooldowns. Good luck. You're going to get sniped. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just pretend this fight. I know. Again, I'm kind of repetitive sometimes, but you play in this area. When this D.Va does this, when the Winston does this, you just go back with your Winston. You call Chef, hey, go with me. Drop onto this Ana, you kill the Ana. Go on the sand, you kill the sand. Go on the, it's
Yeah.
like ping pong, pinball.
That makes a lot of sense.
Do you need a moment?
No.
Okay. I saw I heard the vibration.
Yeah.
Okay. So the problem is, once they have map control, which means that they can set up and establish the range, this is it. You're facing them at range again. You don't have the option to just start close to them. This is why the starting position, when you win a fight, the starting position, what do you do with your victory is so insane. It's so insanely good against snipers. Because right now you're basically relying on a lucky left click. But the only thing the tanks need to do is just since you're playing with your tanks, the Winston is forcing your Winston out and you at the same time. And basically now you're playing like a Soldier 76. Because you cannot move forward. You're playing a flanker, but there is no flanks here.
Okay. I'll look for Zen.
Oh, that's good tracking. And then, ooh, that's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
that could have been a fiesta for you, like infinite resets, but all right. Okay, this is a good start. The best start is on the other way, on the other stairs, because your Winston can start here. You start on this door, and the D.Va starts. D.Va should
plane.
start low, so
Okay.
you build like this. Genji, Winston where you are, D.Va meeting the enemy tanks, and then you will have Ana here, plus Sen. Ana acting like a soldier, etc., plus Sen, and the Sombra behind.
Okay. So
So
Ana and
basically-
Zen on top of plane or like
Yeah,
inside
yeah,
of
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
On top. This means that enemy tanks need to go through your D.Va. The good thing about D.Va against Winston and D.Va and the enemy team is your D.Va can meet both tanks at the same time, because you just double pocket with Ana Sen.
Yeah.
You double pocket here. If they push, then you do this. Boom, boom, and the Sombra, since the Sombra is behind already, you don't even need to scout for your Winston because the Sombra is already doing that.
I see.
Then basically you are so oppressive.
They're coming back.
In fact, your comp counters their comp super hard because of this. But since you are giving too much space because you are trying to kill the mini D.Va, this is why staggering is good but not good. at the same time.
Like
That's then
the comp itself is good. We're just not playing it to its effective strengths.
It's basically, it feels like you are the entirety of your team is just afraid of snipers.
No,
Yeah, we're still trying to learn dive, and so it's a process.
It's not a problem. It's not, it's, we all have been through this stage, In fact, I learned this from the Overwatch League.
Oh,
I'm a monkey here.
When I studied the game, it was like, okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't invent anything. I just studied and grinded the game in.
Yeah. So although we do have a Sombra here, we've actually since changed our comp to essentially have a Widow for most of it instead of the Sombra. And so
Sombra can work just fine if you want.
yeah, but
Sombra is
our team decided that because, like you said, Widow is
Okay.
a good pick, is that we would rather have a Widow at the end of the day.
Mhm.
And so in that case, I was just resetting because I got bad spawn.
Yeah, no,
But
no problem.
in that case, would instead of the Sombra being behind them, would we want to have Widow on top of playing with the Ana Zen, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. It's the plane there is so much of a tactical advantage because it's high ground, but it's also far away, etc.
Yeah, when I'm playing Junk on this map, which I do decent amount of time in comp, is I just sit on top of the plane because I can hit every
Yes.
single entrance they have, and so I just spam bombs. I do because Junk has 5 bombs
Oppressive, yeah.
in a clip, so I fire 1 bomb to each door, and whichever door I get a tick on, I throw that extra little bomb towards there. So I'm just denying any entrance.
The problem with, when you face better players, people will start using hit scans, Widow, etc. to counter that. This is why, if you do the same as a Junkrat but with a Widow, and on top of that you can return fire to a possible Widow on the enemy team, this is why it's really good. For example, Soldier is also good, but if you play Soldier against Widow, usually the counters are, if you play something with Soldier plays range, and you have a hero that plays range better than Soldier, it's a counter. Right? Widow plays range better than Soldier, but the problem is distance in that module, let's say, is tight. It's not that big. It's still big, but it's not that big. So if you play Soldier against Widow there, the only thing you need to do is just hold on your Alex rocket whenever you want to trade on the Widow. You just don't rocket the Monkey, etc. You just rocket the Widow. So you can win, the trade. But that's about it. And the Soldier is so oppressive there. Widow is so oppressive there. It's insane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me find him.
Or even Ash too, especially with their dynamite.
High ground.
And now Ash is really like it's a combo, right, between projectile and.
I choose Zen.
So right here, I messed up because I should have gone up back over that wall.
You should have gone through this way. You cannot play in the open against the snipers because then it's going to get you forced. You get forced the deflect, etc. You need to play through these tiny areas and try to infiltrate. Try to push as much as you can, and when you get denied by the Monkey, you just dash away and you just hold that flank. Because when the monkey can either deny you or pressure your backline. If he's denying you, your Widow is
Free,
kinda, right? So you are actively protecting your Widow by doing that.
I see. So we're essentially trying to create more problems than they have resources.
Yeah, basically, you have versatility. It's not creating problems. It's just using your tools, maximize the usage of your tools. They have double sniper, so they can do some things good. You have hybrid, so you can do hybrid comps. Usually are not top of the top at anything, but they can deal with everything fairly enough. Like double sniper beats one sniper, but on top of that, if you play like I said, you have a bit of sniping plus a bit of flanking that usually deals decent against double sniper.
I get you.
So the thing is, usually people are like, "Hey, sniper versus sniper. This is a electronic penis battle, right? we need to kill the other Widow in order to have bragging rights." This is exactly what you are doing. This is exactly what you are preventing. You don't need your Widow to consistently beat the enemy Widow, because if you do that, I guess you lose the round here.
Yeah.
Or never mind. Yeah.
I couldn't find him, to be honest.
You see how the Widow is just killing everybody,
Yeah.
right? Because you need to deal with the payload. The thing is, if you wait,
I got
no, you hold this. Okay. If you say, hey, to your Widow, hey, I'm going to disrupt the Widow, so just focus on tanks. Okay, Widow is mine. You just focus on tanks. If you just rely on your Widow winning 1v1s, you need to rely during the entire defense. But the attacker only needs one kill in order to snowball.
Yeah.
So that's pretty a lot of pressure on your Widow. If you can make your Widow's life easier, so be it. That's why you play the Genji, and just it's why you do the double pincer.
Yeah.
With the
That,
Winston.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So that way,
Honest,
because if our Widow's entire round is spent just trying to counter their Widow, then she's not being nearly as effective as she could be when we have other resources that we could put towards it to
Exactly.
take care of it.
Can we dodge this Widow? She grappled up. Widow has no escape right now.
I mean, you realize that there is no.
Genji.
Oh, that's a one shot. Nice. There is no time where you start near the Widow. Like every single time the Widow grapples like that,
Right now, on his one,
there is no counter from no counter move from your team.
He was anti-
So in that spot right back there when she had grappled up top, I'd called that out. I don't know if you, you said you don't have the comms on at the start, right?
Divas one.
No.
Yeah,
Usually if-
yeah. I'd seen the grapple. I'd called it out. I was like, "Can we dive this Widow? Can we dive this Widow? She has no grapple."
Yeah, but if you do that, you're investing your cooldowns, and the enemy team can, It's still not bad. It's still not bad because, but that's like a band-aid, okay? Gibraltar second, third, no third. Yeah. So your Widow is here. He has control over this entire sideline, right? So if the enemy Widow does this, if you dive, you are still trading cooldowns. But it's good because your Widow still has line of sight. But you are going to get countered off by the tanks, etc. It's a risky move, okay? You basically depend on the Widow just hitting the shots. So it's very, very, very risky.
I see.
So
But if
what
I
you want to
started
do
in
is
like the
just,
fuel room, then I can easily just kind of go up to where Widow's playing and kind of counter her that way.
exactly. You can even start close to this wall in courtyard with your Winston here. I mean, of course, they can force you out, but you can dash into here, into the Mega, and then play fuel. When the Widow goes up, you just again, right? This is basically it for you. Oh, nice. Because your aim, I mean, it's not like something impressive, but
Yeah, no, I'm
decent.
aware of that.
But it's okay. It's not. I mean, you just show me that you can one shot a Widow if you just
Moore's one.
pick her, you know,
And now we get ball.
like here. This is good. If you it's just 95% of this kill is you being in the position of just being able to do that.
Don't mind that deflect. I was trying to deflect
Nice.
the orb, but it goes faster than I do.
Wait, but there's a more.
It's if you just start, and
Now we get ball.
you are able to replicate because you are smart and you say, hey, my starting spot always is like this.
He's one.
Then you're going to kill the Widows 24/7.
Yeah, one of the things I definitely need to work on with Genji is the projectile speed, because I know before his projectile speed was very similar to old Hanzo's, but then Hanzo got his buffed up a bit, and so now and I haven't put too much time into Genji, at least not as much as I should have. So, I still have to work on that. I don't know if you saw, but I was I was tracking a ball and I had thrown 3 shurikens, and they were all on target, but just behind him. So if I had the proper distance, they all would have hit. So the tracking is fine. It's just the speed.
You have two main ways. Like you brought up a point that is actually interesting. You have as a projectile, you have 2 main ways of aiming. First one is when you are at range, way more range than you were with that ball, like contesting a sniper. You don't aim at the sniper usually. What you want to do for effective aim is you aim at places. What places? You can say, what you want to do, what you want to do is to build angles, right? Build angles in a sense. For example, if you have
like kind of like instead of trying to shoot at where they are, because after all, there's gonna be like travel
it's a
time,
projectile,
and so it's good to kind of fire on where they're going to be. Yeah, like right here, like just firing down where they kind of have to walk into the shots.
exactly. If you are facing a hit scan, the hit scan needs to establish direct eye contact with you in order to kill you. But you can return fire. You can return what is called blind damage, which means it's just you right click your left click into the angle, and then you cover yourself. If the hit scan peaks, it's going to take the shurikens to the face. That's how you protect angles against a hit scan. It's dangerous because you need to peek into a hit scan. But if he fails a shot, you can establish dominance just by poking the same angle.
Also, another thing is that, especially as like a Genji or a Hanzo, with the with blind damage, if I'm firing down a choke like this, I can always come at it from different angles to make it their job of hitting me a lot harder, because I just know where to aim, because like you said, it's not a person, it's a place. And so I just have to think in my head, like you said, the mental map of where that angle is, where that corner is. So I just can come around from any spot I really want to and throw it just into that place. And they're going to have to try to find out where I am, sight up, and then take a shot.
And on top of that, the main problem is if you lose this angle, because this is what you are building, an angle. If the Widow goes here and you play where you are, it's difficult because you don't have two walls where you can build an angle with. Then is when you need to aim at a person that is moving then is when it becomes hard to hit. Right? But the second one is when the target is close to you. Where is the Hammond thing?
It's right about here.
I think it's here.
I think so. It should be coming up.
Diva's one, baby Diva's one.
Yeah. Yeah, he comes up in a second here.
Okay, let's watch this.
Yeah, it's after the blade.
Oh yeah, it's after here.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, there.
So the second is where you here. Well, actually, it's all right. Yes.
There we go. Now we get ball.
Here we go. Wait, no, I'm gonna dash through
Close.
them both. I'm gonna dash through them, and then he goes around. Yeah, right here. Here we go. See.
There we go. You were doing fine, but the second is you don't aim at someone. When you need to aim at someone as a projectile, you don't aim at someone like a hit scan. You aim, you flick. You know what flick is, right?
You kind of like see where they are, judge the distance, and then pre-fire. Like you move to where they're going to be.
No. Flicking is when you play McCree and you go for this super fast wrist move.
Oh yeah.
That's a flick.
Okay.
This is the second way of aiming with Kenji. Literally, the first one, like your left click, is to aim at places, building angles. This is why you shoot them in a line, right? The second one is flicking. This is why you shoot three, because you don't. This is why you don't track. Exactly like this. This is why you don't track, because you lose all of them. You are not a hit scan. You're a projectile.
Yeah.
But if you flick, you just keep flicking and keep flicking and keep flicking. Yes, this fast move, wrist moves. You know, like this you're trying to do here. Exactly. You feel the difference, right? When you use you feel the change on the wave of aiming. That's exactly what you do. If you in close range, if you go for the left click, it's because the target is still, and you can hit the 3 in the head, like you did with the Widow. But other than that, it's a problem.
I see.
Because you are losing damage.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now this is the bad part for Genji. This is why Genji is good on attack, but now you need to infiltrate. You need to get where the Widow is. But now they have the map control. They start with the winning thing. The thing is, you're just wasting too much time trying to poke.
I'm gonna dive Widow backline. Okay, so get ready to get on her. She's back.
Very, very far. Oh, and
Okay.
No, we can't go.
All
Yet.
right.
We can't go yet. We have to.
This is where you just exploit. Just ignore this, because you're not going to win this straight face to face. You're not going to do it.
Yeah, I should have gone under where I am right now, so I can just kind of walk forward and dash up into the backline, huh?
This is 70% chances of. What do you see? What do you say? 70% chances of. If you go below them.
I mean, because they have 3 here right now, and so like if I'm going under, I would avoid these 3, and I could kind of just walk up and then dash up to the top of their backline and kind of go on them back there.
So you're telling me if you go below them, there's a 70% chances of you winning the fight.
Yeah.
Why do you lose the fight if you do this?
If I had to
You're-
guess, I'd say it's probably because this D.Va, and I don't know who that other one is to the right of D.Va. It might be a ball.
It's Winston.
Oh, it's Winston. Okay. Because they already have cooldown advantage to kind of follow me back there, and I use my dash to get up.
You got it 50% right. 50% right. You are using the cooldown. You are using the dash into the walkway, which means that you are using the dash into shortening the distance, but not doing any burst damage.
Mm-hmm.
Second, yes, you are going in, but what about your Winston? Is he going in?
No, we don't have the map control yet to actually close in that gap because these guys are on blue box.
What happens to the Winston if he dies here? If he dives here?
Kind of
He's
same
going
thing
to
that
get
would happen to me. Yeah.
Exactly. What you need to do is to open the map. The first of all is you open the map. When you need to recontest into snipers, first one, this is like flanker 101, open map. How do you do this? This is not a commit. What you did is that's a commit. This is why you lose the fight. Opening the map means we go back to these 3 ways. Right?
Mhm.
Which ones are they taking? They are taking this one, blue, and they taking main because they are super close. What about server room? Are they on server room?
Nope. And it would definitely open up the map because I would be using a part of the map that's, as of right now, completely barren.
What will happen if you just suddenly pop up here in Crystal, and you just wait?
They would definitely start to wonder where I am.
Even like this is how positioning in this game is so important. If they don't know where you are, they have a problem. Yes. But if you know exactly where you are, but they cannot do shit about it, this is even bigger of a problem. Because you are in Crystal, you know what's coming to you, but can they do something about this? They can't do anything. They cannot force you out of Crystal, and you're just in dash range, which means that these snipers that are taking these shots, they need to move here. They need to maximize the distance between you and them, right?
But by doing that,
Sorry.
they're cutting their angles to main, which would give us space to push up.
Exactly. They are just gaining. They are playing only in this LOS, which means that you're a sniper. If you have one, you gain control of this LOS. It means that you can pull them out of blue box. One thing that you can do is that if you have the Lucio, right? Your D.Va contests blue box, the Winston drops, and in this corner, you commit with a speed.
I see.
This is a hard commit, but you are in a way better spot because you are coming from here, your Winston is coming from here. If your Widow moves at the same time to server room, you just gain control of the line of sight. This is super aggro. But still can be doable.
Yeah, like if
But
we
the thing-
execute it right, then it is aggro, but we are essentially, because with double
Playing burst,
snipers,
yes.
double snipers rely on, like you said, distance and LOS, and if we're able to provide enough aggression to force them back, we're limiting what they can do.
Exactly. Once you force the Widow out of scope mode, she's less of a threat, right? Hanzo is a bit special because it's Hanzo, right? But Widow definitely is not that damage dealer anymore, not that one shotter anymore.
Yeah.
So this is a hard thing to break, but still you need to use your tools properly. You playing blue box is what they want.
No, we can't go yet. We can't go yet. We have to control blue box. We have to control blue box. We don't have control of that. Once we control blue box, then we go.
Oof. You get a kill?
One already.
Nope. She lives.
Already one.
I tried really hard, but no, it just didn't happen.
That's something that even if you get a kill, you know, it's something that is going to work 1 or 2 times out of 100.
Yeah.
So it's something. It was just like, hey, it's lucky. No, you didn't get lucky.
Almost have Val. Oh, I say we dive back first. If we can get the pick off, then we can control blue box. Listen, go under.
I was calling out that she was low for our Widow to just take a quick shot because she was one hit.
Oh crap.
You need to take 2. Okay, 2. You're waiting. Oh, you're going to do the speed. Okay.
Are you in position?
You're going to do the speed.
Make sure you call a target. Widow, Zach.
Do you see the fire?
Yeah.
I mean, it's suppressive as fuck.
And
Did you
it also
actually
kind of gave away where we are too.
Okay, nice. But you see, even them shooting at you, you just got the opening. If you do this the first time, with them having ultimates... Oh, that's unlucky. Oh, nice. You can snowball this.
Oh no,
You
this
get
is
the
really
buff?
unlucky. So.
But still, like, even them deploying ultimates and stuff, you can see that you are close to winning the fight. If you do this on first instance, you win. I mean, you just break them up. Like, the important thing is that you break that choke point.
Yeah.
Now the snipers are running. Now the snipers are, you know, it's Oh, this is so one. You don't need the blade.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the thing is, now the minigame starts again. Now that you have map control, this is why in Overwatch it doesn't matter if you are defending or attacking. It doesn't because if you are on the defensive or attacking round, it's not important. The important thing is in the flow of the tempo, in the flow of the round. Are you attacker or defender? You were attacker in the blue box, but now you are defending. You can take them up. You can set up the starting position super hard. You can just clean this just by calling your Winston with the Hanzo. Okay.
Yeah, this was really
okay.
weird.
That was like the worst wall climbing ever.
Yeah, it was a really weird thing that was going on right there, and we couldn't kill him unfortunately. But like, I'm pretty sure it was an accident by him, but I wasn't expecting it, and so it threw me off because like he had started to go up, and so I tried to meet him up there, but then he wasn't there. I dropped back down, and it was a mess. And then our diva was there, but I didn't expect her to be there, and yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. You're coming from behind. Do you see how fast? How is he? This is something that you can repeat all the time. It's been messy. It's been messy, but at the end of the day, you're getting those resets. You are getting.
Yeah, it's definitely
You're
not a
getting
clean
on range.
fight, but
Exactly. The outcome is clean because you're just sniper after sniper after. You know, it's good. And if you realize you only had one fight, in the entirety of the point, you were not even close to losing this point at all.
Yo, Widow.
And then this is where it gets. Get the hit? Right click. This is the right click. When you need a hit scan, when they have like super sliver of health, just go for the right click because you can aim them. You know, the middle one.
okay.
Now just pretend.
They're
Oh, you didn't reset the map. Okay.
No.
I was wondering.
Wait.
Yeah, no, they should have, but
Usually go for that because.
yeah, I mean, like in a tournament setting, you don't reset obviously, but in scrims and stuff, you want to reset so you can get the whole map.
Yeah, because you want to play the last situation. You know, you might skip the last situation because of those 2 meters. Anyway, just pretend when they reset, when they get out of the spawn, that you are already here with the blade. Right? It's just using these downtimes of the snipers in the best possible way.
I don't know how that didn't hit her. I was upset.
Go on who? On who?
Just go for it with the blade.
I'm being contested.
Just go for it. You want it.
I was trying to
Oh, you
contest
want
this
it
guy
so
first.
hard.
Yeah.
Ah, you don't even. Okay, not using the blade is good. Oh, and you just snowball them super hard. Okay.
The main reason I had done it there was because it was only Zarya left and they had nanoed her, and so I figured the sooner we could get her out, the less time she
Oh,
would
where's
have
spike they
to.
have? Yeah.
Yeah, cause yeah, she'll power spike super hard with nano.
Right now, Reyna's half.
It's good. It's good. At this point, it's just clean up phase.
Yeah.
This is what like you should be right clicking all the time. Oh, that's you see. Go for that one shot. You can one shot tracers like that. Exactly. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. But this is just you need to feel it even watching this. Like always engage in the.
Oh, dude, I jumped
Always engage in the snipers on front to
Did
front.
you see me
face to
jump over that
face.
shatter though? I got so excited by that.
Yeah, style points again. Okay, I'm going to show you the clip, and then we can take 2-minute break.
Okay.
So I can refill my water if you because I don't have anyone behind you, so
Okay.
we can go for a extra long session today.
All right.
Where is this clip? I mean, this is a Twitch clip because I told him to do this, and he got so excited. He's a 4.5 player. He's one of the best Genjis in you.
Oh Jesus. What's his name?
Question.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
in
no,
this-
no,
he's
I
in
wanted to know what his name was.
He's question. He's in.
It's a joke.
Okay. Yeah, I got it now. I'm sorry, it's just too late here.
No worries.
My brain is functioning and not functioning actually.
It's all good. When I was looking to set up the session, I was up like kind of late last night, and I was like, whoa, why does he have like spots open at like 2 a.m.? I was like, oh, that's right, he's on the other side of the world.
Exactly. Okay. I'm just logging in on Twitch to find his username
Okay, no worries.
because I never remember question. Okay, there we go.
What was the question?
This is
again?
what you're going to see. This is a mechanical training.
Okay.
This is a lobby that is basically called 1-1 kill with Genji, and whenever you do 1-, and of course you get 1 kill, you get blade.
Okay.
So I'm going to just put it entirely because this is he joins now with 3 kills, etc. He's going to win the lobby. You're going to, whenever you see 2 dashes super fast, that's the ghost dash. Okay.
Okay.
You see that? That's the ghost dash right there.
I see.
It's instant god, and if that's super insane. Like you go super fast, it's impossible. You see that?
Yeah.
That's the ghost dash.
I see. So it's when you dash through somebody knowing that you're gonna kill them, and then you just
Exactly.
basically turn it and do it again. Okay.
I mean, it's super high skill set in this one, but it's if you pull it, this is insane. You're going to see a multi-kill later on the clip. That's basically insane. You see how fast you move?
Yeah.
It's
scary.
It is. You need to have an insane control of the hero, but to do this. But this is the game mode where you just can practice forever. You know.
I see.
This is so fast, so fast.
Yeah.
How do you track this as a hit scan, for example?
You
How
don't.
how do you sleep this as a Nana player? Look at this. What the fuck?
Oh my god, dude. That's insane. Oh my god.
He got 7 kills in a row.
Do you play Genshin at all yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine so, because it seems like, especially being a Pharah player, you're probably a projectile player yourself. So what do you run for like EDPI on Genshin?
I ran the what it was 4 and then 1.2k.
Okay.
It was hard for me. I was never like I played Genji yes because I understood this Genji thing a lot of time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really good at mechanically at Genji. I never did this lobby, for example, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like my blades are super bad, etc. But I just have fun playing with vision, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I never been a skilled player ever. Like I have. It's not a disease. It's just honestly, I don't know why I never go to the doctor, but I know it's not a disease because I'm not dead, you know. my hand shakes a bit, like a tiny bit.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's when I go for accuracy,
Mhm.
it shakes a bit. It's not. I don't know if it's nervous or it's just I'm a nervous guy, you know, like a super active guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm not really good at these games. Not really good.
Don't
But-
worry, man. You're good to me. Okay.
I mean, I have the honor of picked 4.3, so
Mhm.
it's Gucci for me. It was like okay, I achieved top 500. If I manage to do this, everyone can, you know.
And I mean,
Anyway.
it makes sense for you to be a projectile player then, because like as a hit skin, you really do have to have that steady hand. But as a projectile, it's okay to have a little bit of wiggle room.
Main heroes Soldier 76. It's weird. It's weird because in Soldier, of course I was shaking still, but the tracking I had was good. I played a lot of Soldier, but then Genji, I played Genji in like Diamond Master just because I have a lot of fun. A lot of fun just going behind them, like doing what I just told you.
Yeah.
Just one-shotting Widows, one-shotting Annas. So fun.
You want to hear something kind of crazy?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what eDPI is, right? It's the DPI of your mouse multiplied by your in-game sensitivity.
Yeah.
Okay. So I used to have an eDPI of basically 17,000.
Oh my. Okay.
And that was like less than a month ago that I still had that. And I mean, I was doing fine with it. You know, I would
I mean, muscle memory, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of muscle memory, and I'd have around like 40% accuracy on most characters, but then I realized how insanely high it was comparing it to other people, and so I've been trying to lower it down. And so I went from 17,000 to 11,000 to 6,000 is where I'm at right now, 6,000 eDPI. But on some of the more sniper-esque characters like McCree, Hanzo, Widow, Ashe, I have it at 5,000. But that's why I was asking, because I went from so high. So for me, being able to make these snapping moves was a lot easier. But with the lower sense, I have to adjust a lot more to it. But I have.
Is this... I get it.
Yeah. With Genji's, it's 6,000 still, and so I can.
You need to understand. Sorry for interrupting.
No,
you
it's okay.
You need to understand the type of aim. Soldier is tracking, but McCree is flicking. You can run the same sense for both, but one of those is going to feel bad because you don't do the same wrist move. I mean, you do wrist move when you flick, but you do arm move when you track. And honestly, if you have the same sensitivity for both and you play both a lot of time, you might have an injury in your wrist. You know. You can develop, like, for example, XQC tweeted something about getting a nerf pincer or something like that. If you understand that the type of aim a hero requires, you can just put more or less the same sensitivity on them. Widow, Ashe, McCree, all of them, Genji, Hanzo, they are all of them, they are about tracking. Flicking. So you need to a less, like, a higher sense, a bit, just a bit, like 1 point. Or half a point. Okay, the play of the game is the one you saw. This is
When you
just
got,
for
like, the 7.
bragging rights, but this so clean to see,
He was basically just flying.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Do you know how many hours this guy has in this mode?
Probably at least 1.
And 100.
That makes sense. It shows.
I mean, he is not gifted,
Yeah, he wasn't
It's
born with it, I'm sure, but he's definitely worked hard to get where he is.
the thing is, if you throw 100 hours on comp playing Genji, how many blades are going to use?
Not nearly as
You
many
may
as
not
doing
even
it
get to
here.
play Genji.
Hmm.
But if you go into a specific training mode where you are just going to blade every second, the learning process that kind of speeds up, right? It speeds up like a lot. It's basically exponential.
Yeah, that's what I started doing with Hanzo for just like overall mechanic improvement is just doing like deathmatch because I can fire off way more arrows in a deathmatch game than I can in a normal match. And it's made it a lot more consistent for me being able to hit like normal targets, like being able to hit Genjis or Tracers, things like that. Things that are typically a bit harder to kill.
Okay, sounds good. All right, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a quick pee and refill my water,
Alright, yeah, no
and we
problem.
can go over the second bot if you want.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool. I'll probably go ahead and do the same because I'm also out of water.
All right, see you in 2 minutes here.
Alright, sounds good. Alright, I'm back.
All right, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
All right. So let's see what we have here. Genji, Pharah. You told me Hanzo too, right?
Yeah.
Hanzo is in Ilios. I didn't see any of Hanzo.
I think I
Pharah.
started with it, but then I ended up swapping because they had a Pharah or something similar to that.
On Ilios, you mean?
What's that?
On Ilios,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, on Ilios.
so you don't have that much of Hanzo.
No, unfortunately not.
Let's see what do we have here. I mean, if you switch after one round.
Because my team has also started to play a lot of double sniper, and so I'm trying to like figure things out with that. I know one of my biggest things right now with Hanzo is my positioning isn't always great.
Okay.
And so it's just a matter of trying to help, smooth that out a little bit.
All right. Then we're going to watch the Ilios, and then watch a bit of Pharah.
Sounds good. Would you like me to schedule an hour for like what's coming up right now?
You push. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Feel free. Like 1 to 2. Can you do that? Yeah, because it's.
What time is it
12
for you
here.
right now?
I mean, you can. Like 12. You can purchase the next.
Like the next coming
purchase
hour?
the upcoming hour. Yeah, if it's open, yeah.
Okay,
no
yeah,
problem.
yeah. So for me, it'd be 4 to 5. So I guess that'd be 1 to 2 for you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Okay, then I'm going to jump in here and accept it.
Alright.
Let's go. Good day for
Also, I want Chef to be the main target color.
All right, super good.
Try to listen to Chef more.
Oh, I'm not ready.
Let's see.
It's not the right like call. You talk
Let's see a bit of Pharah, a bit of Hanzo, and then we just go back on Pharah.
Yeah. Hopefully you're not too disgusted with my Pharah play. I've been trying to
Come on,
put-
no, don't be like that.
I've been trying to play the angles a lot more, and I think hopefully you'll be happy with seeing me do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I try to figure out where the widow is, so I know to
But
not.
the thing is, do you feel the? Oh, never mind. I mean, I just opened the YouTube video. I thought it was Visor. I was pressing S to stop. And... what the fuck?
the right like call. You talk about
The thing is, do you feel the improvement of Pharah? Like, do you feel like...
I feel like I have gotten a lot better with her. But I don't know, like, if it's still always perfect. Because I feel like sometimes I stay on Pharah for too long, like when they have, like, 2 hit scans or something like that. Because I'll be, like, waiting to barrage or something.
Okay.
Because, if they have, like, a McCree, a Widow, and then, like, an Ana, I don't want to just barrage out of nowhere because I'm either going to get slept or just headshot or stunned. There's so much that can go wrong, and so I'm, like, waiting for, a good time, but then that time never comes, and so I'm just holding onto barrage for, like, 3 points.
Okay. All right. Okay. So far you did good. One of the things is, and this is really important, the possibility of you being able to fly doesn't mean that you really need to fly all the time. If you know that there is a Widow here, you don't really, like, if you fly, you move slower. Right now you have high ground control. It's fine that you're going to go close to these guys, you're going to play angles. It's good. But you can do this playing here, and just being on the ground, walking at normal speed.
We gotta pressure down the Pharah for us.
That makes sense.
You don't really need to. Here, this is really good. This is really good. Like, this is exactly. You see the amount of pressure you put on the Widow. This is literally the only tool Pharah has to deal with a hit scan on range.
Oh, she got away. We gotta kill the Pharah.
Now we I'm going to try to teach you. This is a super advanced maneuver, okay? But you might know this already, and maybe you don't realize yet. But when you're shooting rockets like this, if you shoot 2 rockets at the same spot, this is a problem because they usually never hit. Okay, the hit scans need to be like really greedy. I don't till a point that I don't want to sound toxic, but they need to be retarded. So, yes, this is the perfect spot. You just took this angle by shooting this rocket. You hit the Widow. Now you have this angle. Oh man, I'm not good at this. This is what I mean when I shake a bit. You know that.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. This is the angle that gets created for you. What this is called, I have a name. I made the name myself in Spanish. I'm going to try to translate it like in a literal way. This is like blind, projected. No, I'm failing too hard.
Well, what is it in Spanish?
No, it's like blind protection projected. No, blind projected. Holy fuck.
So, hang on real fast. If I have to guess, I'm just gonna borrow this real fast. So, if the Widow's about here, all right, and so before I was playing, like you said, like this angle here, and so I fired the rocket. Like I said, she's not gonna stand there for the second shot, and so now with my new angle, God, I can't draw a straight line either. I should be firing my second rocket right into this spot here.
Yes.
Because she's either gonna try to follow me to cover that LOS and I'll kill her, or she doesn't and I just essentially deny her. Because especially having taken that shot, there's the mini right here, and so she's gonna try and head over to that. And so just firing right down into this little area here might be enough to take her out just there.
Exactly, perfectly, and that's it. That's it. It's just blind prediction. There we go, blind prediction shot.
I see.
Because it's if he follows, as you said, if he follows, he dies. If he doesn't, you're safe. At the end of the day, you can do this with like every corner, right? You let's say that you're here, the hit scan is here, you go for this one, right? And then you go like this. You close in the angle always, right?
And fire the new one at the next spot that they would have to go to if they wanted to follow. And if they don't, then I'm fine. And if they do, then they die. Exactly.
There we go. I'm so glad you're my student. Holy fuck. You're the first one that actually gets that super fast. Because it's usually a mechanic that for people it's difficult.
I mean, it makes sense.
But the thing is, this is a corner and you can do this, right? But in a high ground, for example, if you are this is in front, right? This is you here. You need to drop, right? You're going to do this. So if you do this, the first rocket that you shoot is at this angle. And then if you go back, you go this angle. If you go towards the wall, it's this angle, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if you like, for example, you drop this way, right? In this particular drop like this, you should shoot at the same spot you drop from. Unless, for example, if the hit scan is here and it's going to do this, you shoot his, and then you move like that, and you shoot this. This basically, you can do this with every angle. It's insane, and it's really good. Because it basically allows you to turn around 1v1s or 1v2s.
Yeah, because I'm essentially trading shots that they can't match, especially being a projectile player, because they have to literally walk into my shots or give up the kill.
Exactly.
I don't know what happened with that Lucio there. It was a little annoying.
That's a problem. Instead of... I mean, he was standing still.
Yeah.
Instead of he goes for the boop on you, he's trying to just enable his... you're playing it super fine, but instead of doing this, you always need to keep in your head, this is what is saving me from the Widow. So you cannot... Going for the kill here kills you, basically. Super hard that you boop the Lucio way. Super hard that you survive this if you go on the open areas. they'll just realize this is a Lucio. Lucio is not going to kill me, but Lucio is super close to me, so I am actually able to kill him. You know.
My biggest fear was that he was close to me and I was at low health and I only had one rocket and I know that I need to kill, and so I figured if I put distance between him and myself, it'd make his shots less reliable, so I would be able to get healing. Because if I had 2 rockets, I would have just taken the fight, because, I mean, I can just 2-shot him. It's not that hard to hit him, especially at that distance. But knowing I only had the 1 rocket left, I knew I wouldn't be able to kill him, because I would land that first rocket, but then I'd have to reload, and in that time he'd be able to just shoot me again.
It's just, the reasoning is good, but it's just, you always need to keep in mind, we need to, you need to protect yourself from the Widow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, double sniper. You know what's the principle of double sniper? What double sniper does?
It's supposed to create a crossfire, right?
Yes, but I know. You know that I'm always a bit picky about that stuff.
No worries.
Yes, because the crossfire is a correct answer. But the thing is, I always want to go deeper than that. It's not about
At
the
least
goal.
I had that part right, and lets me know I was on a right track.
Okay. It's just, the crossfire is the goal. It's like when you told me, "Hey, I want to be pro here," or want, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Now is the important, the important part. How do you achieve the goal? Double sniper achieves crossfire by controlling sideline. This means that you usually want to play like this. If the map is like this, you want to play the Widowmaker here or here, and the Hanzo here. Why? Because if the Hanzo is equal to short range sniper, and Widow is long range sniper, which means that you can do this. If the Widow has a good spot, the Hanzo on the short range can rotate to create crossfires. Right? For example, you are here and the Widow is shooting here. You move here, so boom, crossfire. Or you move here, and boom, crossfire.
Kind
You
of like
maintain
back on Gibraltar when we were attacking, the opponents were running
Exactly.
double sniper, and the Hanzo was playing blue box, but then the Widow was in the back. So kind of like
Exactly. Exactly.
that. Okay.
This is when you need to defend. When usually it's always like that. Always like that. Like the Widow is the one that do less moves. Right. The thing is, if you need to switch sidelines, because for example, let's take blue box. Right. This is the corner actually. This is the corner of blue box. Alright,
Okay,
this is something like this. Yeah, right? It's
Yeah.
kinda okay. So you are attacking here, you are Hanzo, so you are playing short range, and you have the Widow playing long range, okay? Usually you will be the one rotating around here, trying to go for this, around here, trying to go for this, etc. If the Widow rotates, means the Widow change line of sight, is going to do a big rotation, for example, to server room. That is going to then, if you keep the Hanzo in blue, then the Widow is the one establishing the crossfire. But it's a rotation that is hard to do, and it's just when you have enough control of blue box. Right? Usually, what you do is the Hanzo helps the tanks on the trade, pretty much like Mercy, right? And when you force the tanks out, you want the mobility to get the tanks out. Then your Widow goes for here and then establish this.
Yeah.
Since the tanks have no cooldowns, then your Hanzo can move. The Widow covers and the Hanzo. This is the synergy between snipers.
Real
Also-
fast.
yeah.
So one of the maps that we do this a lot on is Route 66, right? So if I'll use blue for I'll use green for the main track. So like the spawn is down here, and the
You
payload
can
goes
go for the static image if you want.
Oh, okay, yeah. Add static image. We're looking for. I'll just put 66. I want the first point. Yeah, okay, this works.
Okay.
So, one of the things that we've been trying to do is run double sniper here, and we would put our Widow like right up here when the payload would be like right at this corner here. So Widow would play here, so she kind of has like this line of sight, and then I would kind of push up by them. I would come up by the mini, so I would like kind of follow this path down here, come up by the mini, and then I would essentially try to contest gas station, so I can get up here. That's an H. H.
It's interesting. What do you think that will happen if you switch sides?
So this would be, for attack here. So if we're like, trying to push onto them, and I figured gas station would be good because Hanzo has the mobility to get down and up as needed. So if they try to contest me, I can use my dodge ability to kind of get out and get safe and then recontest pretty easily. And Widow can play into caves to come up on the other side to have the new LOS. So I know it's getting a little messy, but that's our idea at least. But what do you think would be?
It's fine. It makes sense. It makes sense. Just as a quick input. Try to imagine like when you are here as a Hanzo. What do you see from here? Do you see gas?
I can see parts of it. I can see like the upper half.
Yeah.
But
generally speaking, you see gas, right? Top of gas.
Yeah.
But you also see this corner, right? But you also see this.
Yeah.
Usually when you play double sniper is if you are the Hanzo, you're again playing with angles, and this is the angle, and you are putting pressure on this angle, and then this is Widow, rotates like this and get picks here, here, or here.
Okay.
Why? Because if they defend close to this corner, and the Winston jumps here, he's going to jump onto your Widow. And then your Widow goes out. But if the Winston jumps into you, you go into a Storm Arrow, and you say, hey, come to me. Do you see why, when it comes to a corner like this, the short radius is for the Hanzo, and the long one is always for the Widow?
That makes sense. Yeah,
Because-
that makes a lot of sense.
Because as a Hanzo, yet what you said is true, but if you end up climbing there, that means that you are way past control of the curve, of the turn.
Okay.
And you as a Hanzo, you cannot just walk to Argas and just get the, it's super hard.
Okay.
And if you put the Widow here, the Widow only can see this.
So, when the cart is pushed up, like kind of close to bridge, like close to capping, and they're still trying to contest, at that point, would it be good for me to go to gas and then Widow to play in the cave area?
Yes.
Okay. I see.
If in payload maps, especially, this is why Widow is so good in payload map. I'm just going to use Dorado because it's the first one in images, but it's also a good example. Let's say that you start double sniper, right? You start Widow being 1, and Widow just secure this line of sight, right? So, Widow this is usually made with Anas, right? Because Anas are just healing, and they don't have this threat of one shot, so people don't hide. So Widow here, just pretend, let's say a perfect fight, right? You win the fight. Next fight, what do? You move the Widow to 2. 2, what's 2? Top of the bridge, right? I mean, this is the weird 2. This is more like a nerve. Anyways, the thing is, you have these pinpoint places that you can just force fights. If the fight is happening here, you already boom. How do you snowball? You move to pass, and where is going to the fight going to happen? Here. When you win this fight, because by being as a Widow, as you saw in the Gibraltar bot, being a Widow and you just having this replication like Widow, big line of sight, this is 50 meters, and this is the fight, so you just shoot at will. Eventually it's a matter of time that you win, because you have this consistent damage from the Widow.
Yeah.
So let's say that you win this fight, you immediately move to 3, which is 3 here. Where is the fight going to happen? Around bank. You win this, and then you move Widow to 4, church. Where is the fight going to happen? Around point.
I see.
Do you follow me here, right?
Yeah.
Then when is the next fight? Where is the next fight going to happen? 5. When is the next fight going to happen? 6. there is this 6 points where if you play perfect Overwatch, the Widow just have these points where she needs to go. And if you carry on with the tempo, you always be having this thing. Widow, line of sight, tremendous, fight close to the spawn, which means that Widow is DPS, consistent DPS, but also, and this is really important, untouchable, undiveable. It's impossible.
Yeah, because she's so far back that they just can't get to her, and so she's able to be very, very a big threat that she needs to be dealt with, but they don't have the resources to put into dealing with.
Exactly. If you try to dive her, the entire team is counter diving, and the Winston is just holding the healers. So you effectively split the team, and you just kill these guys by a lack of sustain, and then kill supports because they cannot overrun the monkey by themselves. This is what you do. And then, if in these 6 positions, what's the Hanzo doing? Is Hanzo's playing here, right? If the fight is going to happen let's go for the first one. Widowmaker is here, so Hanzo can be either red or yellow. And when she moves to 2, Hanzo can be either halls or apartments, or point kinda. But this is an overlap of line of sights.
Yeah.
Again, the last one, right? Hanzo will be playing here, and then the Widow will be playing here.
And then Hanzo
And
can
then
just
the
slide
Widow
up to
here,
Bang.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
This is how double sniper works. This is like a super straightforward. Of course, the enemy team plays, etc. But this is just ideal positions that you should be looking for. In King of the Hill, for example, this is the best example is Dorado or Gibraltar, because you can see the 2 flank sides super good, super clear, right? This means that you have control of this and you have control of this. And then this is when, of course, like they are going to go together. This is why I always say Crossfire is a consequence of you establishing dominance over both line of sights. In King of the Hill, the problem of the King of the Hill is that the map is so dynamic. It's so dynamic that for double sniper it's hard. But for example, in the situation that you are, the Widow is going to play behind the Orisa shield, and you can play this way or this way. What variables you need to take under consideration when it comes to choosing the enemy team?
Yeah, what they have to kind of put pressure on us at least, and with them having the Pharah, I figured playing the left side would have been better because there's a lot more like kind of roof coverage where there's the mini and then there's those 2 buildings, and so that way I wouldn't be as under pressure from her, but it would be able to still set up a decent crossfire on the rest of the team.
The problem with Pharah is if you put a roof on top of you, it's good because Pharah cannot shoot at you, right?
But then at the same time, I can't fire back at her either.
Exactly. If you play here, one of the good things now that you understand the angle thing, yes, Pharah puts a lot of pressure on angles, but you as a Hanzo, you have one-shot potential on angles. You see where I'm coming from, right?
Especially with
play
a
around
beacon
here.
arrow too. I can just throw a beacon arrow on top of the lighthouse and see her coming from around the corner and land an easy headshot or at least a body shot, which is enough to scare her away.
And if she plays at range, then you use this angle as you did with Pharah to just put pressure on her. And at the same time, you're establishing crossfire. It's always against a Pharah. If she's not taking advantage over the positional advantage she has, you should always go for open areas. Because that, again, this is when you make a projectile aim, this is when they can fail, you know.
What's this? She's coming up on the right. She's coming up on the right.
In this situation, the usage of the vision arrow should be given for your Widow to contest the enemy Widow.
And that's what I was trying to do originally when I was pushed up in the mini, and I'd thrown that the sonar, or not sonar, sonic.
Yeah.
When I'd thrown it across from me, because I know that's where the Widow was earlier, and so I was throwing it there to kind of see what was happening.
She's behind. She's on you. Nice.
Yeah, but the fire is just super free. The fire is super strong. Oh, this is a ballsy move.
I'm dead. Who are we going? Yeah.
This is a ballsy move, my friend.
Nice. Big. Nice.
You dragged a lot of attention. This is really good. You got discorded. Play the angle. Play the angle. Use the. You realize that if you aim, it's way harder. With Hanzo, you can kinda aim, but if you play the angles and predict, it's easy. Okay, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, nice. There we go. Now you can be so oppressive with the composition you have. This is an easy dragon. This is an easy dragon on the. Never mind.
So we don't have any.
I could only see the 2 tanks, and I didn't think it'd be worth it, especially with the D.Va right there who can just walk out from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the Zen backliner. He's low. He's one.
Okay. I mean, it's the crossfire is kind of nice. The crossfire is kind of nice. It's kind of good. You see where the widow is, right? So right now you're basically ignoring the Reinhardt.
Ryan is low. Ryan is low.
Get the right. He's gonna get ult soon. Nice. Another diva.
This is why double sniper when it comes to you defending the position is really strong, because then you already have the setup,
Yeah.
the crossfire setup, etc.
No, yeah.
Don't throw random sonics. Okay? It's really important that you give just hold on your cooldown. I know you're going to get one, but get the automatism of always using your cooldowns with one purpose. Don't spam them just because.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can force that trans.
For example, like with the composition they have right now, the storm arrow should be used if you get ganked by Tracer. If Tracer goes on you, use storm arrow. Why? Because she's going to recall. She cannot face the storm arrow on their face, So
I
she's going
found
to
that the
recall.
best thing is to just, at least in my own experience, is I just sink a normal body shot into Tracer, and it forces out recall that way, and then if she wants to recontest after that, then I use Stormbow.
Yeah, but this is about syncing the cooldowns. It's sometimes if you play against good Tracers, you're dead before you hit in the body shot, So it's about just if you pull out the storm arrow, they need to be careful. This means that they cannot go for, because you have like way better reaction time, like way better response, let's say. And the storm arrow is usually seen as a cooldown that you can spam, etc., which is kinda, but it's a cooldown as an Overwatch. So every cooldown, if you think about it deeply, it fills a purpose. You are a medium range DPS, medium range sniper, but you have a short range burst damage ability. For example, if a Winston jumps into you, if you pop a storm arrow, you can actually shoot him back.
Yeah, I don't
For
actually
example,
use my Storm Arrow nearly as often as I should. I do use it if somebody tries to dive me, but aside from that, I don't really ever use it.
It's a good thing because you can hold on your cooldown for 3 minutes. Yes. But when you need it, you will know that 100% you have that cooldown up. This is a common mistake in a lot of heroes, in a lot of players too. You just use the cooldown because hey, it's fairly low cooldown, 4 or 5 seconds. In 1 second in Overwatch is a lot because it's super fast. The game is super fast. This is, for example, it happens a lot to D.Va players, right? This is just as an anecdote, but you see a lot of D.Va players blinking with the Matrix, right? A bit, I'm going to eat this rocket and this rocket and this rocket, and slowly you see the resource bar going down and down and down and down. Slowly too, yeah, but down. For example, what does my off tank from Contenders? Of course, I mean, yes, it's a Contenders player, but he reads the fight. He reads the fight that is going to happen because you cannot foresee, but you can read. If you're facing dive and we have a hit scan, what is going to happen? Well, they are going to dive our hit scan, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be this momentum, this moment in time where our comp is going to suffer an insane amount of burst damage. So what does he do? He just learns how to dodge rockets instead of he relies on his teammates not eating that damage, And when the dive happens, he always have 2 seconds matrix. He just puts this 2 seconds matrix on top of the hit scan, and the hit scan has 2 seconds to deal with everybody. Usually the hit scan survives. But if you're just doing this blinking with this, hey, I'm going to eat this, I need this, I need this, you instead of 2 seconds, you have 1, or half a second, or none. You know, this is why like holding on your cooldown, even if it's for 3 minutes, it's not a problem because you will realize at one point in time you will need that cooldown. But the thing is, you don't know when.
Yeah, it's
So
good to
always
save it
holding
for
on
when
to
you
this-
know you need it instead of being like,
Yes,
oh, well, I mean, I
exactly.
can use it here, so why not?
Exactly. And then 2 seconds after is, oh, I would have used it here, definitely, right?
How does that not kill? Jeff, back up.
That was
Sit down,
unfortunate,
sit down.
I
Don't worry,
saw
I'm out.
This is just so chill. You can even, if you move a bit forward, the diva is going to go on you. So you just kind of stand here. Never stand still, okay? Always. It's really, really important. You know what APM
APM, yeah,
means?
actions per minute.
It's important that you keep them up. Right, jumping or etc. It's also going to help you compensate in the aim because of your movement. Never stand still, never ever.
Okay.
Red condition right now, it's a shadow. And barrage, watch the barrage. Nice, push them, push them, push them, push them.
Just work on the shield. Okay, you just go for the cross. Oh, that's
They use strands.
Okay, no, transfer. Let's fight. Wait, what?
all right.
Lucio, I'm on Lucio back right here. He's half. Lucio's half. I got it.
Okay, I'm going to just go for a topic
Lucio's still
now that you play Hanzo.
Alright.
Reaper. It's okay. Nice to do it.
Um,
Lucio's still in the room. Lucio's half. I'm on Lucio.
you go for the dragon. Okay. Let's see what your comms are. Oopsie. I thought again YouTube video.
No worries.
Reinhardt?
They use strands.
Okay, no, transfer. Let's fight. Wait, what? I'm on
You don't even say anything. The thing is, do you think someone in your team can boop them into the dragon?
We had a Lucio.
You had a Lucio, yeah, but for example, someone can hook a tank into the dragon. Can you combine something with the dragon?
We had we had Hog Hook and Lucio Boop, but that's it. Because we had
You have Infrasight too, right?
yeah.
So you don't shoot the dragon blindly. The thing is, if you're going to use one cooldown, one ultimate, can your team help you in any way? For example, you're playing Pharah and you want to barrage, but you have Hammond. There is a big difference between you saying, hey, this is my opportunity to barrage, so you are doing your own plan. Just boom, barrage, and whatever it happens, usually you die, because barrage is what it is. And then there is a big difference if you say, hey, Hammond, can you pile drive for me? So you enable me to a quick barrage? Yes. What you're doing is your own plan, which is now the dragon, or in that example, the barrage. Instead of keeping it for your own, you make your plan as a team plan.
I see.
And then suddenly the entire team knows what is going to happen. Our fire is going to barrage into the pile driver. For example, we are playing. Actually, can you give me like 1 minute?
Yeah, no worries.
I'm going to look for I'm going to rely on you not leaking this, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to. There we go. I think this is the map. 1 second. I'm checking.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh no, this is not the map. This is not the scream I was looking for. Oh, this is the one. There we go. We played the scream against the guys that were always playing goats, you know?
Okay. Brother, did you want me
we're
to
playing-
turn off the display capture for the recording real fast for this, or?
I mean, it's okay.
You sure?
It's okay. It's alright.
All right. Just wanted to double check first.
Just keep it for you, and we should be fine.
Okay. Well, would you be okay with me sharing it with my team?
No, not really.
Okay.
Like this part, The thing is, this is high level scrim, so I'm just trusting on you to just show you something.
Okay. Well then I'll go ahead and I'll turn off the display capture and the audio just for this part, so that way I can watch it here, but this way I can share the rest of the stuff like prior to this with some of my other guys.
Okay.
Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
fine.
All right. So I'll go ahead and there we go. No.
Nepal.
There we go.
We are playing triple DPS in this map. Here. Oh fuck. Nepal. There we go. Try. So we are playing triple DPS, and we play Hammond, that is going to stand in this corner.
Mm-hmm.
We played Ash, that is going to play here. We play Ana, that is going to play here. Ash is Ash Ana,
Mm-hmm.
Pharah Mercy, and then we have Sombra behind them, right? And they were playing goats. And you could see, like, from on top, of course this is high level gameplay, but it's just to prove the point of how, if you set up, right, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
play like it's solo queue and you try to act like a team,
Mm-hmm.
how powerful this game becomes. The enemy team was running goats. So what the Sombra did is when they speed boost through the side.
Mm-hmm.
The Sombra hacked the Diva. The Hammond pile drive in, and in the animation of the pile driver, the Pharah shoot a rocket, the Ana shoot the nade, and the Ash shoot the dynamite. All at the same moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
550 damage. We one-shotted goats.
Oh my god.
And it's so visual. Like it took us 1 second.
Yeah, because it was coordinated. You just hack the Diva because that way they have no defense matrix, and then you knock them all in the air so they can't move, and each person commits a little bit to get a much greater outcome.
I call it. We call it because it's funny to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Europeans. Haha. the dig power spike. Because we do this. In here we use all of our cooldowns.
Mm-hmm.
And this is effectively close to 600 damage. And in the VOD reviews we have like this the stone, you know, like a stone of 600 damage.
Mm-hmm.
and we can place this stone wherever we want, like in this choke or in this choke or in this choke. It's just everybody. For example, what happens with your team? I know the difference. Okay, but it's just to just help you in that regard too. You are just doing and poking and going to the spawn, etc. You're not setting a plan. You're not saying, hey, what's the next coordinated action that we are going to do, right? It's sometimes it becomes a mess because as you said yourself, you're doing your own dragon plan. The tank is doing his own plan. What will happen if you coordinate all of them, like all of the cooldowns all in the tiny spot? Then the gameplay becomes way more clean, and it's just about communication.
Yeah.
I have one clip that I can show you because I uploaded this to Twitter.
Okay.
But this is a bit different because it's with a Sombra EMP enable. But at the end of the day, it's still filthy. It's still filthy because it's I mean I have wet dreams just one-shotting goats. This is.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 sec. Trying to go through the images.
No worries.
No, this is not the images. It's media. All right. This is just I just as an example, of coordinating the power of. It's like an anime, the power of friendship, and the power of team. The power of the team play.
Yeah. Like being able to combo normal cooldowns instead of only ults, like being able to do like halt hook combos.
But just multiply it by a lot.
Yeah. Like I know another one that we've been trying to practice is halting. Like if we have an Orisa, halting somebody above a shield. Like so, if they have an Orisa, halting people above the shield. If they have a Reinhardt, pulling Reinhardt up. And letting our Widow get a pick by essentially moving their shield for a second. So we just wait for that, and then our Widow is able to, get a clean shot off. Just like, micro plays like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Look at this. I mean, you can record this. It's public knowledge because I have it on Twitter, so it's not a problem.
Okay.
It's a super short clip, but also take enable comm so you can hear what's going on.
Okay.
You told me ready.
Alright, I am ready.
Yeah, EMP empty.
They have a lot of ultis here already.
I'm running.
Speeded?
That's an entire goat.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That was intense. It's like you just wait for the EMP and like everybody already kind of had a game plan. It was just like kind of going through the steps almost.
Of course, I mean for example, the plays. It's a long story, but basically, the way I coach is I give this like the macro plan I give to you, like these movements, etc. I give them to all of them, so they all have this. There is no micro planning like you are doing, and like they all have this macro plan they can refer to, and then they just the planning is so simple because. They are goats. They have no vertical mobility, and we are just standing on top of them. And it says you need to go through us at some point. So
yeah,
Let's go. Good day.
be our guest, basically.
that makes sense. Because the only person who can really contest high ground on goats is D.Va.
And D.Va against 6. Well,
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's just feeding at that point, really.
How does that walk against spawn?
It's just EMP. They need to go all together because the Sombra is just if you go alone, you are going to get hacked and killed.
Again, watch out for barrage.
So just go all together and all together EMP into nade into burst damage and
Focus.
just go back to the spawn.
Place for shadow. That's their win condition right now. Is a shadow. And barrage. Watch the barrage. I got it.
Yes, after this I can show you because I think this also allows you to
Reinhardt.
shot call and have a better understanding of what high level gameplay looks like from the inside,
Come on, Lucio. Come on, Lucio. Back line.
He's half.
Lucio's half. Lucio's
Okay,
half.
you play the angle here, which is good.
I got.
Nice.
Then you go back.
Yo, he's popping.
Lucius still in
Nice.
the Lucius still in the room. Yeah, Lucius down.
Overall,
Reaper.
it's good. You played. You tried to. You didn't got into trouble yourself.
Never reset.
You still set up the crossfire. I mean, it's only one round of King of the Hill. Let's just switch here.
I'll swap.
Yeah, we were in back
It's
here.
only 1 hour of King of the Hill, so it's not too much, honestly.
Mhm.
The thing changes in other maps.
Mhm.
Okay, what do you want to do? You want to do a bit of Pharah, or I can show you this if I find it, this gameplay.
Yeah, sure. We can do that.
I mean, it's going to take me like 5 minutes at least because I don't know where it is.
No
I
worries.
think I have uploaded it. I'm a kind of a mess, you know. I should be like super professional, organized and stuff.
Yeah, that's all good. That's all good.
That's a bit unlucky. Okay, YouTube Best Studio. Let's see if I have this in unlisted. This is something that definitely you can share with. Oh, actually, there we go. Easy. This is going to help you because it's also Genji POV.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is a video. Basically, the video, I made this video because this is a team that I coach, a private coach. I have been coaching them for 10 months.
Mhm.
And they started like a bunch of friends, 4K, all of them. And last OD, they managed to make it to playoffs.
Oh wow.
So they improve a lot. Of course, it was a lot of time, but it's just basically when you stick around with the same player stuff, you get synergies.
Mhm.
And I use this as an example of
How are you doing? I'm just
to my other team, you know, because I usually have like Orgless now or a team that I'm head coaching, and then I'm just trying to survive this environment by doing private coaching.
Yeah.
Then I made this video with them, and I'm not going to just say anything. Basically, I'm just going to allow you to listen to comms, etc.
Okay.
But this is just this how you dive hard, like super hard. Where does this start? Okay, there we go.
Okay, swap back at him.
Yeah.
We have EMP soon.
I'm 1 health.
Okay, try
I'm
follow
gonna
down.
hack the Mega on her.
No.
I can't. No, I can't. I can't.
Genji on me. Genji no dash.
no dash.
Genji no dash.
Okay.
I'm hacking the Mercy main.
Go
Anna
out to
sack
the-
main. Anna sack.
I'm
Anna sack.
on Mercy.
No.
Okay, Anna.
And then one, Genji one, Genji one. Okay, nice.
Mercy
Widow's
Anna
one. Widow's one.
Anna dead.
Good kill.
No, Anna not dead.
Mercy
Anna
dead,
1.
Mercy
Widow's 1 HP.
Anna's literally 1 health. I'm dead too.
Anna dead.
by the way.
Alright. We have MP here.
Let's back
Yes,
off a bit.
just the
If Genji does that again, can we punish him?
I mean, I killed him.
Only MP, nothing else. Okay.
I'm not there right now.
They have McCree now, no more Widow.
What's up? Yeah.
Still no defensive ult, so we should win with just EMP.
I can try with a bomb maybe here. Oh no.
Alright. Do it now.
Okay. Going now.
But it's fine.
I'm on Mercy. I'm on Mercy. Mercy 1. Mercy 1 health. Mercy dead.
Can you get Anna?
I'm on Anna.
Yeah,
Anna,
mate.
D-Mac here.
I'm low.
Anna 1. Anna 1. Anna dead.
I'm gonna hack.
Get D-Vac. Get D-Vac.
I just leave the baby.
I'm healing her.
Checking for Monkey. Monkey 1.
Got monkey.
No, why? I thought I didn't want to risk it.
Nano Blade next. They
I'm
still
winning that
they have no
always.
defense with hold, so try to watch
Yeah,
out
we
for the
win that
McCree, and then we.
I'm gonna try and hack McCree on her.
They still have a Genji, by the way. Genji.
They have
Nanoblade.
blade.
So
Yeah,
we need to
I
go
can
Nanoblade
beat. I can beat
quite
it.
soon. We need to go Nanoblade recently. Soon.
Okay, they're in main row.
Okay,
The nano
Right,
blade
ready?
on? Nano?
I'm ready. Yeah. Going now.
I hacked the Diva for you.
Genji. Nice. And
He was on the mark.
okay, baby.
Still on Mercy here.
Anna. Stole
Well,
Anna.
I mean, we can solve them both.
I mean, yeah, he stole her.
They have Valkyrie, so.
No, she's killing me.
I mean,
that's
that's,
fine.
it's fine.
Go kill her before she flies out.
Okay.
I'm gonna go background to set up for a hack.
They have
I'm gonna
Valkyrie,
try-
they have blade.
Yes.
They have
We
nano?
almost have
Nanoblade.
EMP.
They have Nanoblade.
I can beat
Okay.
the blade, so
Set up,
we
set
can
up,
farm
please.
up EMP. Okay, that can use that too, I guess.
Okay.
Set up.
I failed that.
Set up. I was.
Yeah.
Are we set up for our gate?
I'm having Anna's hacked.
That's a bit far.
Going on Mercy. I'm going Mercy on high
Whoa,
ground.
whoa, 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 whoa. I'm
Mercy
beating
1.
this.
Mercy
I need
1.
to beat
Mercy
this.
1. Mercy dead.
Ana's one.
Win the fight, win the fight. Ana.
I'm gonna die here. Alright,
Matrixing.
I'm gonna use nice monkey dead.
They haven't used ults all like 4 or 5.
They still have Nano Blade.
If everything.
I have EMP.
We have EMP early.
Okay, I'm gonna EMP before they have the chance to Nano Blade. EMPing like here, right on the swallows.
Even if we Nano Blade, we're
I'm
spread
really
out.
aggressive here.
It should only kill a demon.
Outside, full outside.
Nano Blades.
It ain't killing shit.
Alright, EMPing now. They EMP'd.
Okay, nice. McCree on inside. On inside. They're really weak inside. I'm Ana 1. Ana 1.
Ana still one.
I got DMAC here.
I'm killing.
This is they fucked a bit here because the Genji dash into the wall, you know. But
Pretty good point. We have Nano and Monkey. Can almost blade if you can farm it in time.
I'm gonna try and kill Ana here.
Yeah, Pyro should have that. Pyro should
Ana
have
dead.
that.
Okay,
I
Nano
can't
me.
touch.
this was really funny because he wakes up the monkey just for the 5%
Low?
wall charge,
Yeah.
and the monkey kills the Ana.
Be dead. Just
Hacking Monkey point, Monkey sacked, Farm faults.
Diva. Okay, Stagger after.
Stagger.
hard. Don't lose
Try
mag,
not
though.
lose
Don't
mag.
lose mag.
Still, set up for a dive outside point, please. Like here,
Killing him.
yeah. But the Ana is right now.
I'm ready.
Oh, it's Ana's there.
Set up. No, she walked back, Okay. Okay, hacking the Ana now. Ana sacked.
Monkey's
I'm going
gonna
Ana 1. I'm Mercy now. Mercy in main half, dead.
Originate.
Coming back fine. Against you,
low,
Genji
but
1,
Genji.
Genji 1, dead.
Monkey.
Monkey here, Monkey 1.
Still Monkey.
Monkey dead.
Okay, what do you think?
Just Baby Diva.
It's definitely coordinated. They use Sombra to help engage, and then a big thing I noticed is that Genji never goes in alone, as he always waits for the rest of his team to engage and then goes in, because kind of like what you were saying earlier, if they're looking at you, it's not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's waiting for other people to engage so he can go in and do the damage that he needs to do. And they're setting the focus target with the Sombra, so Sombra hacks a target, and then the tanks engage, and then Genji goes in.
Mm-hmm.
So they're using, they're able to synergize their attacks without having to invest a whole bunch of resources. It's just a handful of cooldowns in order to win a fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's intense. I hope to get there one day.
Why not? I mean, the thing is, this can help you and your team. Hello, team. By the way, I know you're watching this. This gives you a goal right now, because this is something that you can replicate. Of course, it's not something that you're going to replicate tomorrow, but it's something definitely that hey, this is how these guys do it. Now, this is why I like to use this material, in the sessions. You have something that you can replicate.
Yeah.
And you have something that you can work towards to. Because of course this is like the pinnacle of 10 months of work, more or less, 8 months of work.
Yeah.
And 8 months is a lot of time. But at the end of the day, these guys were 4K average, and they made it to playoffs. Of course, in playoffs they fall in first round because they were nervous, and the skill difference is just noticeable, But usually we are speaking that teams that make it to playoffs are 4.5K average, 4.4, full of bunch of top 500s.
Yeah.
Top 500. The Genji is the only one here that is close to top 500. The other guys are just 4.2, 4.1.
I see.
The main support is 3.8. I know it's high elo for you, but
yeah.
Compared to
the others, it's low.
The other team is full of top 500s. And this is something that, of course, mechanical skill, you can tell that in the video. Mechanical skill shows where, for example, this Genji one-shots the McCree, right? In this last fight, or when he goes for the Nano Blade. But if you take this 6 minutes of video, this is something that, for example, your team can replicate.
Yeah.
Because this is not, let's say, this is not a solo queue with communication. No, this is actually game planning. and it's beyond the skills and stuff. This is something that you realize, hey, we have our time, we have our spot. This is something that you can work on.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
this is only this tiny space of time where you really need the mechanical skill actually makes a difference. Basically, when you dive, you kill faster them or not. But also the way these guys dive. Do you think that this is difficult to replicate?
I think it'll take some time to get everything in sync, but as far as like the overall execution, it's definitely doable.
But I mean, yeah, that's the thing. You didn't see something like, oh my god, that's insane, with like the blade, you know, like the blade from the other guy. Oh my god, that's actually insane. This wasn't. Okay, for you might be, yeah, it's like super coordinated, but it works concept that is not like something I need to do the perfect blade now. Is being synchronized is enough. And just use the entirety of the team. At the end of the day, it feels like with the dragon, and this comes from the dragon, right? It's just you have your plan, your team has your other plan, the other teammate has other plan, etc. It's really important that if you're going to do something like deploy an ultimate, etc., try to find someone that can help you.
Yeah.
If you're going to shatter, because you're playing Rain in solo queue, can the Lucio boop the enemy Rain? Can the Sombra hack? Can the, you know? Help me. Don't let that your plan gets wrong or gets no value just because you are just on your own. It's really important to use someone. For example, you play with Orisa. Can you pull into my dragon? Yeah, 3, 2, go, 1. 3, 2, 1, go. Making a countdown makes everyone on the same place.
Yeah.
Same page. All right. What do you think? It's Gucci?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, question time.
I don't know. I'm thinking about like. It's a lot to like think about, but at the end of the day, nothing is impossible to do. It's just a matter of like where to begin.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I think like definitely you can see a difference in play between like our games and then ones like these where it's higher up, because the skill, like just like the mechanical skill gap isn't really that massive. But the biggest difference is just the team aspect of it, of how they work as a unit. And so it's a matter of just like applying that. And I think we've definitely, at least our team has been getting there, but it's one thing at a time. At first it was positioning, so now we're starting to get like the positioning down, and then it'll be, you know, like the ult combos and stuff, and then the normal abilities and stuff like that. And so it's definitely a process, and you know, take care of one thing at a time. But it's nice to know what it is that we need to still go over, because sometimes we run into the problem of just we don't know what we don't know, but then you learn some of these things from like watching stuff like this, and so it's like, oh, I see. So they're doing stuff like this. Oh, that's a really good idea. You know, we should start trying to apply that.
Yes, that's the idea. That's the idea. And then you can use this Genji clip to just realize this, how he's not poking. You know, he's not poking at all.
He's just kind of waiting. He's just like waiting for the engage.
I don't think I have. Let me check. I might have one Gibraltar because I went over this. Basically, when I pick up these guys, they were like you, but with 1,000 more SR, basically. No joke. Like, I mean, don't try to sound disrespectful or anything, but they just want 6 friends that play in the game, you know?
Yeah.
And they told me, hey, we want to do etc., etc., etc. So that process that you are speaking about, I went with them through. I went through it with them, basically. And this is basically the result. This is probably one of the best matches till date.
Okay.
And I don't have any other. No, because I'm sorry about the Orgless, but I cannot show that. I could use the last one because it's from the last Orgless, but it's just something I can't.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, I guess this is it.
Would you be willing to go over the King's Row scrim that I had done from yesterday, the 18th?
Oh yeah, sure. Kings Row. Oh, that's the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, you are going to play May. Oof.
And yeah, for defense on King's Row, because we ended up holding first point on defense and pushing all the way to the end on attack. But there were times when it was kind of messy. And so although we did win the match, I'm just trying to figure out on how we can maximize our efficiency.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to take a bit of water. 1 sec.
Yeah, no worries.
Where is my... I'm actually in the darkness here. Where is my water?
Oh, it's
there
to
we
your
go.
left, down a little bit, yeah.
All right.
Massive.
You're having fun, huh?
Yeah.
Everyone clear coffee.
All right. Let's see.
We were in a scrim today, and we were all calling him Cookie. Some of you guys know Cookie.
Yeah.
We were saying he's a placement bot. He's like, alright, I'm leaving. We were like, no ball. And he just left in the middle of the scrim.
Wait, what did you say?
We called him a placement bot. And then we were like, you won't leave, no balls.
Oh.
Alright, just comes.
I'm charging.
You missed.
Reinhardt.
No! Down. My bad.
Their Ryan is down.
Okay.
Soldier, it's just soldier.
This is actually for the soldiers so tilting. Oh, nice.
Oh, also, Brexer, that Widow, is, he's 4K.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
We were all a little upset because this other team was just like, yeah, let's just get a 4K in here, it's fine.
Oh.
But I mean, like, we knew that he was gonna be the
Oh,
problem.
I
I
fucked up the wall
there.
again.
But he was essentially gonna be the problem child. And so we worked hard on just making sure he was taken care of, because then we could deal with the rest.
No, keep backing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are we re-engaging now?
Brian's gonna have shatter.
Oh, this is smart.
Go.
Let's see how you place the wall here.
Brian's gonna have shatter here. Be careful.
Okay. You should be trying, even if it's a wall in the open. I know it's not optimal,
Go.
but try to deploy a wall like this.
I see.
But,
To,
I mean,
to cut the Rhino from the rest.
you are not going to isolate anyone forever, but this is just cutting the range. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just enough.
Or now that I'm thinking about, I usually look always about the range, but
Shatter here.
if you go here and you place a wall like this to isolate the Sen and kill him, it's basically looking for a kill everywhere. Oh, nice.
Oh, huge.
But this is a good move. You giving them 2 ticks and calling for the re-engage is actually really good.
They didn't.
Yeah, we were talking about how we're like, yeah, we can give up a little bit of space just to fight again.
Watch Widow.
Nice. Like this, did you see? Like, you're not actually isolating him. It's just he cannot go backwards. That's enough.
Yeah.
Alright,
Blizzards are win condition. Their win condition probably shatter.
We could blizzard grab and just kill him.
We're calling out Blizzard Grab for this next fight.
Mhm.
They're gonna transit probably. Watch headshots from Widow also.
Warning before you drop shield to retrain.
They have walls. Widow has walls.
Speeding.
We can get
Oh, there we go. Force trans.
We were talking about how we had to get trans
You know
out.
one thing you can do?
What's up?
I mean, you are going to grab, so
We can grab. Blizzard.
Yeah. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Can we do it now?
There is. What? How is this HP? What? Wait, what?
It's stacked, so it's actually it's the Zarya behind.
Oh, that was funny. Okay, there is one thing that you can do, even if you want to like Blizzard alone, if you don't want to use Graph. Play the mind games. The guy's like, hey, wall, just wall, like fake that you're whiffing it. Use it, and then they are going, oh, speed, boom, Blizzard.
I see. Yeah, I've done that before where I put a wall up and then right before it breaks, I toss Blizzard down, because that's when they're all waiting to push through. Yeah, it's fun. I love that.
But this is like you whiffing it and immediately like destroying. It's going to be, hey, push. They fucked up the wall.
Yeah.
Like, this is 100% the goal that is going to happen. And then you just Blizzard them that instant moment, and you kill them. You should be grabbing now. You should be grabbing. If you pop the trance, you don't need to wait for the trance to finish. Because the important thing is that they need to be stacked for the graph.
Yeah, and the second that they're grabbed, I can toss down the Blizzard. But the grab never came, and I saw this as being a good time for it.
But it's good, yeah, it's good because, well, you got value out of it. You go in solo mission for the Widow. Oh, you're actually hitting those headshots.
Oh my gosh. I was scared. Orion has like 3 HP. And then Lucio jumped in front of
do we want to Bob Shatter this fight?
No, we're calling the Bob Shatter this next fight here. One of our biggest problems is we call out what we're gonna use and then we don't use it.
If you just graph, one thing that you can do, okay? Again, trying to optimize. Wall this. It doesn't matter if you catch anyone, okay? Just wall this, grab the wall, destroy the wall. Because they are going to be on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, and they won't be able to see it coming, and so it'll be easier to get people.
Even if, like, the thing is, even if you catch the rain alone, or catch the, because right now just they speed through it. Not didn't speed, but you know they coordinate themselves.
Yeah.
Just you secure that if you kill the rain, then you abuse the rain hard. You know you have.
Okay, wait for him to push. When they push, okay. Widow top or like.
Thanking you.
Yeah, the Widow is of course like she knows what to do.
Watch the soldier on the left. He's gonna ult. Soldier
You can tell.
I'm calling the soldier on the left.
This is a mechanical thing that you need to like train, you know, for.
He's one. Soldier's one.
I tried to put a wall up there, but I fucked it up.
That's mechanical thing.
Shield broken. Shield's broken. Give them a little space if we have to.
Go for the fire strike, Jeff. Get the kill, Jeff.
Soldier top left.
Soldier top left. I don't have shield.
Good picks. Bun, can you pick me up from spawn?
No.
Okay.
Trying.
We still have grab here.
Right heart.
That's about how we still have a grab, so we should definitely be like staying in that.
I mean, you end up using grab, I think. I guess. Yeah, you use everything.
How do I restart it?
Listen. Go back to lobby.
This feels like you can do more things with the wall rather than just walling them off. You know, you can just bait them and play the mind games. You know.
Yeah, I getcha.
And then on the attack, you're going against the 4K Widow.
Yeah.
Picture.
That's it.
You're like breaking up for me. What?
Did you see the picture of Pepe Afro?
No.
Moira's one.
Did you see that? I did the pre-aiming with the prediction. I fired the first shot and then led the second one to the back.
It's good.
Unfortunately, the second one it hit, but it wasn't a direct hit, and so it didn't kill. But the idea is there.
Yeah, but I mean, there we go. Nice track. This is how you track with a projectile. But then this is just how it's called consecutive flickings. Don't. Okay. You were looking like, oh, I'm going to press Q super hard.
I thought about it, but it was only those two. One of them is a Zarya, the other one is a Mei. I was like, that's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's huge. Big day.
Okay, don't do this anymore. You leave your sun cap in and you move forward.
Yeah, I'd called for that actually. I was like, Zen, can you stay on point?
Sorry, I had to frag out.
He was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I had to frag out.
Fire is so good here. Fire is just insanely good. Let's go on the hit scan. Nice. At this point, when you get rid of the hit scan and you get rid of stuff and you want to just develop the fight, just go aggro and land. You know, you don't need to be using your fuel all the time.
Okay.
You basically go for this so you can open the map, and then when the fight is already over, you just secure the position and just the cleanup, you know.
Okay, I get you.
It's just for fuel optimization, you know. It's something that you don't really need to be always there.
Yeah.
Nice. Like this, exactly like this. Yeah. Good. Wait, what? Alright.
I fucked up the charge, my bad. Alright, he's dead.
I mean, your aim and it's good. It's
Are we? Okay, we are pushing.
They have a
Wait,
Widow.
so what's their win condition? We switch.
They just use Shadow.
Okay.
They don't have.
I was just
anything right
pressuring the line of sight and trying to
that's why
deny
we
it.
just keep pushing. They don't have it.
Especially because we had sights, so I could tell if she was gonna try to peek, and so instead I was just trying to force her out.
For example, here you know that they're going to be able to contest this, right? They will be able to. Instead of just exactly do this. Gucci. I like this.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't really need to show yourself because basically what you're doing is barrage setup.
They're gonna have crabs coming up.
But they are not contesting, so let's go for that. Okay.
No, I'm actually serious. Don't worry.
I mean, they are a bit monk ass. Not gonna lie.
Backing up. Playing corner here.
Leave a Discord.
Okay, I guess.
He was out of mech. Booping her.
Are they
I mean, they should have recontested that.
Apparently, I'm playing corner here. Play group because they got monkey. The win condition is
Yeah, they gave up way too
Okay.
much
we
ground.
can counter monkey. I'm pushing up.
So I messed up right there. I tried to close the distance on the Widow,
Go back up.
but
Who's up top?
I closed the distance in the open,
We can counter monkey.
Yes.
and
Pushing up.
yeah.
The thing is, here, if you get out of the... One thing that you can do is to go for this E. You know, and you use this cover. And then if the Widow picks you, you just boost into her,
That makes sense.
for example. But this is risky. This is risky of...
Yeah.
Gonna go back up, backing up here a bit. Oh no. Widow's up top, careful.
Widow high ground.
GM's on Widow.
Another thing you can do is play the angles, since you are in the behind the shield. Now this is weird for Pharah, but still it works. You play like a ground Pharah, you know.
Yeah.
You go for this angle, you spam this angle. When you see the other Widow grappling or just getting out of LOS, you can go for this. Because the second shot is going to hit, most likely. This shot that kills you. But the first one is not, so you are going to end up at this HP, and then you can even barrage her, and you end up surviving, you know?
Yeah.
I'm pushing up the other side. Gonna go back up, backing up here a bit. Oh no. Widow's up top, careful.
Widow high ground.
GM's on Widow.
Remember, play group.
Oh, lit, dude.
Widow Discord.
She's getting DM'd.
That's a
Okay.
scary spot to get rezzed into.
Shielding, heals right now.
This pick is... This is where you feel the difference, you know?
Widow Discord.
She's getting DM'd.
Do you think that you really need to
Shielding, heals right.
go for this pick?
No. Honestly,
You don't really need to-
I was, because I had started firing in the hallway and I was getting the tick marks and then it stopped, and so I was trying to check to see if she was still there. And I was like, oh, you know, it's a small enough corridor, I can't not miss her, but she just hit me instead, and I was like, oh.
The thing is, at this distance, your head is like a watermelon. Is one thing that you can do is you fly and your head is here, but you're shooting here, so she cannot headshot you.
Yeah, because that way it's a safer way of still doing the same thing.
Yeah. Or you peek, but you crouch.
I get it. That makes sense.
But peeking like this is so predictable, you know.
Yeah.
For her,
Oh, fuck.
she was holding this door, and the crosshair was here. So when she didn't need to. I mean, do you see the? Do you don't have kill cam?
No.
Yeah.
No kill cams.
It's a screen preset. So basically, she doesn't need to move the crosshair at all. It's just when she watches the watermelon appear, it just
Click.
pops.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
She gave you the suck.
Yeah, so I definitely still have stuff to.
Okay, I'm
I still have stuff to work on with
But you're in
Pharah.
the right direction. Like I feel like your movement around the map is way smoother. You have always a plan, etc.
And we get low, I'm gonna trans.
Should I
Which is nice.
They don't have like a.
They don't have this one, right?
They don't have an ult.
And your aim is actually decent.
Thanks.
Just gonna trans.
Hey, what the fuck? My bad.
We can res.
Oh, that's ballsy.
Back it up, cut it out after we res.
This for example, this is an example of what I told you about everyone having their own plan, you know?
They don't have an ult.
Your Widow pops the infra side, and it's like, hey, I'm going to kill this guy so fucking fast.
Just gonna trans.
Boom.
Hey, what the fuck?
What the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Why don't you just put the shield, go behind the shield, and shoot the Widow? Same
Yeah,
thing with
it's
you.
like it's like I mean I was playing shield at first, but
Back it up, cut it out.
then
after we
yeah,
res.
I should have communicated to Chef to just slide over so we could do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't, and so I was like, I can't hit her here, and so I tried to use my dodge because it would make it harder for her to hit me. And I figured I was trusting my own mechanical ability to be able to track her well enough with sights.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Okay,
even
wait,
a good idea.
they're gonna be. They're on Moira with dive. We should win this. Okay,
The best thing that you can do is like this.
Oh,
Just,
I have a big oopsie right here.
McCree is high.
You're going to pick again. Oh, you're not picking again?
But now, I scared
nah, High Noon's not the one condition. I'm on Monkey's
Aw.
Discord.
Okay, I'm gonna start
Right
pushing
here.
up.
I missed the shot.
Monkey, oh,
So you
fuck
should
him.
have
It's still winnable. Still winnable.
I mean, I feel like you're a bit behind.
Oh, what it was with
Go either
the
with that, go
McCree.
either with that.
The McCree, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Top left, watch out shots. Widow's top left in the window. Monkey's Discorded.
Yeah, I feel like my Pharah's gotten better, although granted it still has a lot of work to be done with it, but it's definitely improved, or at least I feel
But
like
you
it
feel
has.
the most important thing is that you feel confident with a hero. It shows, you know, you feel, because that's a Widow 4K, and you just don't give a shit and you go for that, you know, because you know what to do. It doesn't matter if it's a Widow 4K or it's fine.
Yeah.
Good, pushing up to corner.
Whoa!
There's up.
Oh, Widow left.
I saw her, I'm like about to release the air, and she just shoots me. I'm like, oh fuck me.
I mean, this is what 4K players have. They are,
We did put
I mean, mechanics are there.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing that you face players like this because it teaches you mistakes. Because, why are you picking a Widow as
Yeah.
Hanzo instead of just going AD, you know?
Yeah, it's
Playing
nice
the
because
angle.
they definitely. It's easier for me to recognize my own mistakes because 4K players will punish those mistakes.
Moira's one
Mhm.
evade.
Widow's the high ground right side.
Moira used ult. Moira died with ult.
This is why learning processes are also sometimes slow. Ooh,
Oh, left side.
I can't believe I missed that shot. I was so upset.
Sit down.
Monkey?
Monkey Discord.
let's drag on the card at this point. Oh, you're waiting for the comp.
My bad.
Nice.
Fuck you, Moira.
I
It's
was
just-
waiting for the combo, but there's nobody in the grav, and I didn't know that.
I'm the better smart.
But you are a team player. You just shoot the dragon
Yeah.
regardless.
See, guys, I can't play Reinhardt anymore.
No, but it's just what you said. Like you face, you might commit a mistake, but this guy is not good enough, so he doesn't punish you. But now you face this guy that is really good enough, so you realize, hey. But yeah, I feel like yeah, your fire is definitely playing like leaking walls and stuff. It feels good, and then your aim is actually like the prediction with the rockets is. It's really nice.
Thanks. I think I have 57% accuracy on average with her right now, and I feel pretty happy with that. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good.
That's actually really good, yeah. I had this is an anecdote. I had in one game I had 95% accuracy with Pharah.
That's ridiculous.
But I mean, it was when I was playing 4K and I was smurfing in a platinum game, I think, or.
Oh, okay. There was one time I was super happy with it. I was playing. It was back when I was in plat and before we had really established roles on the team or anything like that. And I was playing McCree and I had like 73% accuracy, and I was so happy. Really, I was like, "Yeah, look at me go!" Just clicking heads. It felt good. It was like headshot, body shot, next person. Headshot, body shot, next person.
That's nice. That's nice. I have a friend that is like that. He's always about accuracy. Oh, I have 54 and now 56. Oh my god. It's just a number. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
sometimes you need to shoot because
sometimes sometimes I'll look at my accuracy with Hanzo and I'll be like, man, I only have like 25%, but I'm like, you know what? I'm putting damage into shields and I'm pressuring corners, and that's stuff that can't really be measured as a stat, but it's still doing something.
This guy will just not. This was like season 2 or 3, but this guy, I was playing with him sometimes, but at that time I was actually climbing, and he was like low diamond. I was high masters, low GM, I think, yeah.
Okay.
And I wasn't playing with him until one point where he climbed. So he got a lucky streak, and I got an unlucky streak. So we went in range of one of each other. So we just queue, and he was playing McCree, and I was playing Soldier. We were double hit scan, and I was like, "Hey, dude, help me with the shield. Come on, the shield is not dropping fast enough." And he told me literally, "I never shoot the shield." And I went, what? Yeah, I want to keep my accuracy. What do you mean? What?
So the shield has to go, especially against double hit scan.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point of playing double hit scan, right? And it was like, dude, tell him you're serious about this. How long have you been with us? Forever.
It's just like an oh no.
Yeah, I don't want to miss shots. I want the fancy number. And I told him like, okay, just hit the shield, okay, from now on. A couple of games after, he told me like, oh my god, like the difference is insane. Of course, because you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I feel like the most important stat is probably win percentage or deaths. Because win percentage shows at the end of the day you were at least able to do your job well enough to get a win. And deaths because, I mean, it's no fun being in a game as a spectator if you're supposed to be playing.
But for example, deaths, there was this time where Mercy players could abuse the system. Like, they literally will just get out of the fight if we were losing just to not die.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember that. The mass res.
You remember, right?
Yeah.
That was shady times, dark times in the history of Overwatch.
So, I don't know how much more time you're willing to put in, but I do have a scrim of us on Nepal where we were running goats, if you'd be interested in seeing how well we've been able to apply some of the things that we went over a few sessions ago.
Okay, let's say that this extra hour is on me, okay?
It's up to you. It's your time, so
no problem.
I'm not gonna push you any further than you want to go, but I figured I'd at least just ask about it, and like I said, it's up to you, and so you're always able to just say no.
It's okay, no problem. This is on me. No worries. This is as a extra bundle, let's say.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, at the end of the day, you took the time to just send me this amount of links. The last thing I can do is watch them. Oh, but this is like super short. Is this one?
Yeah, no. So I had forgotten to record at the start.
But this one you're referring to?
It should be the one from the 18th.
I'm using tire here. Can you hold?
This is
The
what is this?
Scrim
The
11819.
11819, yes.
Okay, yeah. We didn't do all 3 maps, unfortunately. We had only done 2, and I'd forgotten to record essentially the first half.
Okay.
But the next map we do play goats, and it wasn't a goats, at least I don't think it was. But yeah, because I've told I went and relayed the info to my team about in the goats trying to create that like convex shape, having the 2 side angles with the D.Va Lucio and then the Zarya. Yeah. And so we were talking about like kind of how to do that and stuff like that, and I was working on my brig, trying to stay right by the wall, and using my shield to peek the corners and stuff.
He played Genji too.
Okay, let's see. Let's see how this goes.
I wasn't paying attention. Pushing up. I'm gonna play corner side here, corner wall.
There might be on goats. No, Doomfist.
Or you play without the D.Va, you play with Hog.
For this map, we had played with Hog, yeah.
Okay.
Typically we do run D.Va, but we had a sub this day, and he was more comfortable with Hog, and so that's just what we went with.
Okay. I mean the difference is. Okay, one of the things. You stun this guy, which is good. You get stun in return, which is dangerous.
Can we get this right?
When this rain goes in,
Can we get this?
you should be using the whiplash to just try to poop someone out. Try to maximize the amount of or how hard this rain gets split from the team, basically.
I see. Kind of maximize his isolation.
Yeah. If possible, your rain should just hold the front line, because this is what happens if the game pins, but you do this, right? You kind of gave the space, but if the game spins and you do this, you close the door. Let's say that it's like closing the door, after he goes in. The rest of the team is going to take care of him, and you are holding the rest of the team on the choke point.
I see. So it's essentially kind of like a Mei wall, but just not with a Mei.
But not body blocking, but it's just if you go through, we are going to swing, so you cannot get through.
Yeah.
Yo, who is this Lufus guy? He's actually insane.
It's always dangerous. Like as you see, this choke point is the Reinhardt can cover the entire choke point by swinging, and it's going to deal clip damage. So if they want to get through, you should say like be my guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, use the third person view better.
I'm guessing the win condition's gonna be me. So
Yeah, no, I got a little distracted because my shield fit perfectly between the pillars, and I was looking at that for a second.
I was looking at the same thing.
Yeah, I was looking at that for a second. I was like, oh, that's pretty.
Stunning right now, stunning right now.
We were calling for a
That's
shatter.
really good.
Yeah.
Come on, that's really good.
playing shield, keep firing it, guys.
Do you feel the difference already?
I do, and I'm sure you probably see it with Chef as well, because he was playing the corner and I was playing like right next to him, so we could do that combo.
Is he like happy about the outcome?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I see Bunge's wall already.
You go for the perfect shape again? There we go.
Yeah.
They're gonna have noon,
It looks so pretty, and so I just like set it up while we wait.
It does, yeah.
If you're scared they're gonna eat it, just grab
And then as soon as I see them coming, I kind of like turn it so I can actually look.
There were conditions either.
So right now, I was watching that McCree and then he was dying.
Push in with that? Okay, I'm rallying.
Rallying and let's go. Go for them.
Yeah.
They don't have mech. Nice.
Swing in.
I kind of got to try to cut them off here. But then I ended up kind of getting a little isolated. But on the bright side, I didn't put my shield up as often because I was like, oh, it's just a D.Va and an Ana. I can deal with this. So
Definitely, you can like read it like that.
Yeah.
Extend this fight. Back up. Extend this fight.
Backing up.
Up chef. Speeding out. Alright, this is the last fight. I have B. D.Va touching.
Okay.
Focus on D.Va.
I'm holding the rest back. I'm holding the rest back. Okay, I'm falling back.
Okay, you're just basically holding entirely of the entirety of the team.
They have Pharah?
And then they had a far at the end,
Yeah, they
but
have a far now.
I mean, she
I'm
can't
around.
really touch point and not die, so we weren't really worried
Mhm.
about it. She does touch point, right here, and dies.
It's okay, it's okay.
Dies to
you're
a
in
brig.
range.
It's embarrassing to die as far by a brig.
Yeah, you know you've made a mistake as far when you die to a brig.
We didn't ever.
But it's fine, it's fine. Like the engage, like the setup with the brig and the shutter. That's actually like, you see, like a really high level play right there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like right, high level micro play. It's fine. It's good.
I wanted to kind of show you where we were, like an updated picture of where we were at with running goats, since we had gone over, you know, that other session the other day, and so I wanted to kind of show you where we were at, and so that way you can be like, okay, so you guys are getting this down, but you should still try doing this or that, or yeah. I know it's not the longest clip because I've forgotten the first half of the first one, and we had only done 2 maps, but
It's okay. It's okay. It's actually a lot of people believe that you always need to just focus on mistakes, but watching when you do correctly is also important, but because you can replicate train of thoughts. So this is, I mean, I appreciate this because it's, as you said, just to keep track of the progress, but also you should be watching this to just remind yourself, hey, what we did here, it worked.
yeah.
The only thing, the only part I will tell you is that the moment they were running Barisa,
Okay, I'm rallying.
just speed on them all the time.
And that's why I'd use the rally there, because we did have a Lucio, I think, but I know that
Are you
rally
playing
gives a
with-
little bit of a speed boost, and so I'd use that to kind of close that gap.
You do have a Lucio.
Okay, so we probably should have asked for him to speed us in.
Usually there was this technique where with the old brig with the shield blast damage, you'll pop the rally, the Lucio will speed you instantly into the backline, and you will just solo the backline real quick.
Yeah, I know with old brig you could swing, like bash, swing, shift, and delete a 200 health target.
Bash, swing, shift.
Like that right there, what I
No,
just did.
it will be swing. It was swing, bash, swing, shift. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
a
Okay, I'm
combo.
going back.
Yeah, that's what
Which
it was. But
Bust. Fuck.
I'm sad.
Anyway, this is nice to see, honestly.
Yeah, they have a far now.
Yeah, okay, good.
I'm rallying.
Another diva.
I just rallied because I figured they were gonna have to
Yeah,
trickle
yeah,
in, and
yes.
it just
That's-
makes us
Don't let her
beefy.
get the point.
Big boop. Look at that.
Yes.
Big
It's nice. It's nice. It's nice.
It's embarrassing to die
It's
as
Gucci.
far by a
Okay, but
Good job, guys. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
I think with this is it. We
Yeah.
went through pretty much everything, right?
Yeah. It was nice to kind of, you know, see where my updated far is, so that way we can figure out where I still need to work on stuff and where my other stuff is getting better. And we have been running a lot more dive, and so Genji being my weakest one, I know I have a lot to learn and work on, so it's nice to kind of catch up on that. And then we've also been starting to run a lot more double sniper, and so I also wanted to kind of, you know, see where that was at and start, you know, making adjustments there too. And
Okay, that's
it was nice to kind of, you know, be able to isolate on all these different things.
Now you have like plenty of homework to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't stream, right?
I do stream, but not very often.
Okay, because I like to just drop by streams just to actually watch progress, you know, like if you apply it on solo queue and stuff.
Yeah, well, here, if you want, I can share my Twitch with you, so anytime I am streaming, you can see it and stop by should you choose to do so.
Yeah, of course. I mean, do you mind if I add it to the? Because all of my students, I give them the option to, because I have this stream promotion channel in my Discord.
Okay.
So when they go live, they get we get a notification. Not everyone, you know. There's a normal text line.
I see. Yeah, no, go for it. I'm down for that.
Okay. Let me add you real quick. And yeah, basically you have a lot of work to do with especially Genji.
Mm-hmm.
You
But I
should
definitely
be-
feel like because before I was just trying to play Genji like I would almost like a Hanzo, because I don't know how to play Genji. But now I definitely have a because but I've never really needed to play flankers before. Projectile players typically aren't flankers. You don't flank as junk. You don't flank as far really. You can, but it's not a like every single fight you're doing it type of thing. And so now I definitely have a much better mindset of what I should be thinking about and where I should be positioning myself as Genji. And like you said, I have my homework to do to kind of help catch up on that.
All right, let me know if any kind of improvement is made, or if you face a wall, just DM me, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Anything 9 minutes before we hit 2 a.m. here, so feel free to ask any question if you want.
Let's think. There's not much I can think about right now. We have our open division match later on tonight. We rescheduled it for another time. So we've got that going on, but aside from that, actually here, I know. I want to get your opinion on something, okay? So in our our entire team actually has been practicing that uptime downtime type of thing. So going back to that graph you had drawn, I think in our very first coaching session of there's the poke phase, the actual fight, the cleanup phase, and then there's the downtime. And so we use that downtime to essentially discuss our next fight's win condition. Yeah. Like what are we gonna do to win next fight, and how can they stop it? And then what are they gonna do to win next fight, and how can we stop it? So we've been spending our time trying to do that, and so we talk about like what we have to use, and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
But also as far as ult tracking goes, is we've just been saying to essentially one person focuses mainly on their counterpart. So I'd be focusing mainly on their projectile player. Our main tank would be focusing on their main tank. So when we ask, what ults do we have, each person would just say whatever it is that they know of their counterpart.
All right. So the question is,
does that seem like an effective way to go about doing that?
Okay.
Or
okay. How can I put this? Let me look for a better image in the background. Let's go for this one.
Okay.
It's good because that's like the earliest step. But you should transition into a way of communication that works like this. You have a shot caller that is making the plan. All right?
Okay.
Shot caller is making the plan. You have an ult tracker that basically does the ult track. This is pretty much straightforward. And that's it. Like, I thought it was more. I mean, well, now I'm. Wait, I thought this was one more. Oh yeah, of course it was. Target caller. Target caller who calls the target, basically. So this is 3 guys that mainly speak.
Okay.
Shot caller is the first one is the ult tracker. The ult tracker says, we have this and they have this, so the plan is. Let's go with the shot caller, right? We have Graviton and we have they have, for example, they have Graviton, they have Shatter, we have Diva Bomb, etc. Boom. The ball goes to the shot caller. Okay, we are going to combat Diva Bomb with that. And then in the fight, the target caller speaks.
Okay, so the shot caller basically talks about the plan before the fight, and then the target caller is the one who kind of helps execute it during the fight?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. And then you can develop this more, but this is like the normal the
like the foundation
level.
Yeah. Okay.
So you should be helping the ult tracker with the ults, as you said, like with your counterpart. But if you all speak, it gets like a lot of noise.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of in the voice chat is not optimal. Like for example, if you go back to the you can use the video from Team Exile I saw you before from the dive.
Mm-hmm.
You have like this definition, right? The ult tracking, then the planning, then the setup, and then the execution. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have very differentiated communication phase.
Okay. So like for the ult tracker,
basically-
like they want to kind of like everybody wants to keep an internal clock in a way of their counterparts, and then the ult tracker is like, okay, well I know they have this, this, and this. I'm not sure about this one, and then that's when we could come up and be like, all right, yes they have it, or okay, no they don't.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Exactly. And I mean, and also the ult tracker might say, hey, they have bit, and you say, hey, no, they use bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, because I know that comms is definitely a big part that we're trying to, you know, help sharpen up, and that's also going to be one of the hardest things because, you know, you can watch VODs all day, but very few of them actually have the comms with them. And
this is why like the Team Exile thing is going to help you a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, it's kind of ironic, but the higher the level of gameplay is, the lower the amount of comms are.
Because, I mean, everybody already kind of knows what needs to be done, but there are still comms that happen because people still need to know what's going on.
Someone is low or callouts, etc. But when it comes to macro playing, like they have this goats versus goats. They know how to play goats versus goats, and it's just the callouts like, hey, they're going there, hey, planning, like we go graph, etc. In fact, there is one drill playing goats, versus especially old goats when they were like really really strong that you will play goats muted in the team, muted completely. And usually the result is pretty good because you focus on gameplay and you focus on, hey, I'm bubbling in the self, like in the best possible way, I'm positioning in the best possible way. You're not thinking about comps because you also know the target is the Reinhardt, so it's weird for rotations, but since it's ghost versus ghost, you don't rotate that much. So yeah, basically the higher you go in level, the less comps that exist. I don't know if you saw the Overwatch leak screen that got leaked, but they basically don't. They speak, of course, but they just don't. They do random callouts, you know. Not I mean not random, just small callouts here and there all the time.
Yeah, like they do like just the minor things. That makes sense. All right.
Okay, but then I think I'm going to